Oh shit! What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to A Little Dicey D&D. My name is Salvatore. I am your dungeon master here, forevermore until the day that I eventually become a exclusive reviewer of Yu Yu Hakusho, episode by episode on YouTube, and one day become as successful as Rantasm.
We're holding our breath.
But that probably will never happen. Speaking of Rantasm, before we get in to the show, I do want to say, if you haven't seen it, or if you're here from our lovely Jamie's most recent YouTube video, I highly recommend, if you haven't seen it, please go over to his YouTube channel, Rantasmo, to go watch it. It's a very, very wonderful new video. I don't want to spoil anything, but he speaks on specifically the character Will from Stranger Things. So if you're interested in that and all the things that Jamie has done before, if you're a fan of his Needs More Gay series, I highly recommend that video. It's really cool, really informative, really thought-provoking, and just a nice little thing, you know. I hate it when I call things little things all the time, and it's so condescending. And that's not what I mean.
Skits on YouTube.
Just watch these little tiny little skits. They're sketches. Terrible. Yeah, so, I mean, other than that, we just got a couple of our usual announcements. This is episode 33. God damn, we've been doing this for a hot minute.
Yeah.
And we're still in the Feywild. Who knows what might happen this episode, but I'll get into the recap in just a few minutes. But before we begin, why don't you tell us about our social medias, Garrett?
I can do that. Hey, everyone. I'm Garrett, and we have social media. Most of it's under A Little Dicey D&D, or a few are just A Little Dicey. You can figure it out by clicking on the link that just got posted in the chat, presumably. I'll trust them. They're probably on it. Please interact with our Twitter, because I go on Twitter a lot, and it's very fun for me. I don't care about the rest.
Fuck them.
Also, we are an interactive stream. So if you're new from the Rantasmo video, fun fact, you can fuck with Jamie a lot.
It's true.
And everyone does.
And everyone
so many people do. Yeah.
You can either go through the Twitch UI, whatever, click on the bottom, it's like a little gold piece. Hopefully you've used Twitch before and you know what the fuck I'm talking about, because I've never once been able to describe it properly. We also...
You can just say... You can find our channel rewards at the bottom of chat. It's so easy. I had this conversation with Eric about fucking subscribing to the channel. He literally Venmos me money so I can gift him a sub because he doesn't want to learn how to click a fucking button and put his credit card information in.
It's so weird.
If you weren't getting married soon, I would be so fucking more mad at you, but I'm cutting him some slack, so every month he Venmos me $5 and he's like, yeah, fucking throw it on there, and I'm like, yes, of course.
As a side,
that's how I talk.
If you're getting married soon, I am ordained, and I can do that for you, Eric. Anyway,
I'm ordained too, Garrett, and he didn't ask me to do that. So what makes you think that you have a step above me?
That I'm his best fucking friend?
Yeah, that's you're right.
Yeah.
Shit.
Anyway, yeah, you can do that. You can also type in !shop, !points. There's all sorts of store.
Oh my god, you have one job.
I have two! I got Jenna's job.
That's true.
And that's the one that I fuck up the most.
That's true. Hey, so did she. Anyways.
Anyway, there's raffles that we do all the time. Make sure you do !join. Get those points so you can really fuck with our stream. Anyway, now that all the yelling is done, I just
looking a little dicey. Fuck us.
I just want to get a little more intimate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Say,
channel point reward. Consensual hypnotism.
All right, that's enough of that. We'll go ahead and move it on. We're gonna skip Hannah.
No, Hannah, say something. Improv.
I keep accidentally switching my keyboard to Japanese, and I don't know how to change it back.
Very good.
Why? That's such an easy thing to do that you do it repeatedly.
Yeah, I mean, I have it loaded on my phone.
Well, that's the thing.
But I don't know what the button is, and I figured it out once in my life, but never again.
If you speak Japanese, get in the chat and teach Hannah.
Oh my god, yeah.
Get out
Tell
of it.
us.
Nice.
Or
Japanese. I just don't know how to use my keyboard.
Insult us in Japanese.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, we won't know.
or do all those things in the Discord that we have. That's where.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where you can hang out with us. Yeah, that's how you do a fucking segue.
Give me a
Anyway, that's where you can interact directly with us. You can hang out, ask us about upcoming shit. We got channels in there for memes and fan art and all that kind of good stuff. We've been using it to also talk about the weekly podcast that Sal and I have been working on. There's been a few weeks kind of hit and miss, but
I know, it's been a minute.
yeah,
We're gonna. I have something about that at the end.
Okay, yeah, but bottom line is we're doing, if you're new to the channel, we're doing a series talking about the different D&D classes. We do one every week, and as opposed to kind of a traditional power ranking, we're ranking them in terms of kind of how the mechanics support the fantasy of playing a given class, which to me is just kind of the, kind of your job satisfaction at the end of the day. So we have 4 left. We've done the other 9 official classes, and next up is Monk. So definitely look out for future polls to see what you want us to talk about next. And hopefully you guys are enjoying that series, and we'd love to hear what you guys think.
Thank you very much, man.
Yeah.
Jamie?
And as always, make sure to check out our friends at superokpodcast.com. Also, our friend of the show, Aaron, can be found on Twitch at LittleBogWitch, and our moderator, Michaela, can be found on Twitch at Hello Diddy.
Oh, wow. Ooh. That was nice. We're all vocalizing.
Oh.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick before we jump in, there are going to be slight schedule changes to some of the things that we've got going on the channel besides the stream. The stream for the main show, The Great Naledian Crown, which you're watching right here, right now, will continue to be Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've had some things in my personal life that, work-wise and stuff that I've been trying to deal with structurally just on my week, and that's why the podcast has been delayed for so long. I've moved them around to such that, not hopefully, I now know that I will be able to be doing this on Saturday, no problem. I've switched around things on my end, so it's all good. So that will not be changing. However,
Clip that.
Reroll. Clip it. You can keep me to it. That's
Future
fine.
consent.
So, future consent, contractually. However, reroll for now will be on hiatus on Tuesdays. So we're moving that away from Tuesday for now until I get a little bit of a better positioning on when we can bring that back. So for the time being, I will be continuing to do more in-depth recaps at the start of the shows, which I'm about to do right now. We will also be moving to more structural uploads on YouTube for our episodes. We're going to be doing certain, not premieres, but like upload times, very similar to what happened. I believe it was it yesterday at noon, or was it today? Yes, today at noon. Gotcha. So they're going to be going up at a certain time at noon every week. That will be announced soon, and then that will serve as sort of your announcement that you can, go back and watch if you missed anything or whatever. Make sure if you haven't yet caught up, jump on our YouTube channel. It's just a little Dicey as well on YouTube. You can see all of our episodes there. And yeah, so look out for that. More information on Reroll will be out soon. Yeah, so I think we're ready to jump into episode 33.
I did.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. You guys ready?
Yeah, fucking do it.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I fucking dare you.
Oh yeah. So, when last we met, our intrepid adventurers known as the Bared Souls had finally made their way into the odd and ever more exciting realm of the Feywild, through the ripple in space in the realm of Petrichor, where they all are residents of and, native creatures of. This ripple found in the... You okay over there?
It always squeaks when I open
Oh,
it.
lovely. Wonderful. I thought someone farted.
No, I'm trying to be quiet.
Yep.
Yeah, very nice. No worries.
I just the chair I
Oh, that was good. Nice. Good farts. Good job, everybody. Anyways, the ripple that you found in the realm of Petrichor resided in within the Tempest Peaks, which are not too far away northward of the town of Eberlech, which you had recently... What is going on? Okay, I'm gonna continue.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm gonna continue. Yes, everybody shut up. Toot. Okay, so the ripple found in the northernmost part of the Tempest Peaks, which is just north of the town of Eberlech, which you all had recently brought back to a semblance of freedom and new sovereign rulership. From there, through the help of your druidic friend Finrala, you entered into the Feywild with the hopes of being able to close this open rift between realms. Once you entered into the Feywild, you eventually met with this very, very odd character known as the Two-Faced King. eventually going on to find out his true name of Tanduil. This person or creature seems to have a power that is unlike anything that you've come into contact, at least in your time on Petrichor. Here in the Fae, things are not always as they seem. Tanduil, the Two-Faced King, once, at one point when you were introduced to him, you were sort of exposed to a, let's call it an alternate personality of his. Here in the Feywild, apparently once being mortal, he has been warped and molded into a creature beyond what he used to be, eventually gaining his further control over his abilities once more after your, let's call it a skirmish. He greeted you as this more controlled, calm, regal presence. He introduced himself as Tanduil and offered you essentially a gift in exchange for additional aid upon his part. Explaining that he is unable to act outside of certain rules and regulations and restrictions of the Feywild in general, due to the more power you have, the more restrictions you have here in this realm. He essentially asked you to take care of a little thorn in his side. A creature known as the Tooth Fairy has been sort of keeping him up at night, let's say, trying to steal his teeth, as this little Fey demonic creature has been known to do to many different creatures throughout the Fey. In exchange, he would grant you essentially one request that he would be able to fulfill. Should you decide on what that request is, you can take all the time you need throughout this little excursion. However, once asked, it could not be reversed, and some other, small little contractual obligations and whatnot there. And should you survive, of course. You accepted this this agreement and went out further into the Fae, into the darker lands, as the Fae is divided into 4 different planes. You went into sort of the more dusk-covered lands of the Feywild, here where the light does not breach as easily as it might in, lands closer to the sun here. Eventually you found this hidden grove in the Twilight Forest where this Tooth Fairy creature resided. Covered in soot, this burnt and broken, almost decrepit tree, this hollowed out carcass of this once giant, great, let's call it a creature, stood amongst this sort of field of ashen grass. A bunch of further dead, decrepit, crooked trees wreathed around this grove, and here's where you did battle with the Tooth Fairy. A couple of you unfortunately succumbing to its more brutal attacks, losing a few limbs in the process. If I remember correctly off the top of my head, a left hand and a right foot. Stemming the bleeding and saving yourselves from imminent death, you eventually were able to fell this creature, take off its head, and finally take a moment's rest to sort of recuperate and get a better understanding of yourselves and your surroundings. In the process, though, the great hollowed tree was set aflame, and most everything inside of it was burnt to ash until a giant mound, almost an ashen hill, let's call it, remained. Everything else around it sort of reverted back to this dull, grayish, muted color palette, where once it was all alight with reds and orange and yellows in this great inferno. Here you finally stand in the silence of this broken grove, seemingly successful in your endeavor. What would you like to do?
Well, I guess we should head back. We have what I certainly hope is the Tooth Fairy here. Theresa, I imagine you're going to need some help getting around.
Well, I have an idea. I don't know if this will work, but I'm gonna just attempt to. I'm gonna drink my other potion that I created. It's basically Alter Self.
Okay.
Can I have my foot back for the duration of the potion.
Can you read alter self to me?
Yeah, I sure can.
If I remember correctly,
Yeah.
sounds correct, but I just want to make sure.
Well, so you transform your appearance. The important part, I think, is they say
and to make sure the mic is directly in front
Oh,
of you.
sorry. You also don't appear as a creature of a different size than you. Your basic shape stays the same. If you're bipedal, you can't use the spell to become quadrupedal. So, but you can also use it to like grow claws and make your feet webbed and stuff like that. So it kind of does alter, but doesn't
Well,
alter.
here's the thing. Right now, you are monopedal.
Well, you don't have to say that to him.
I will allow you to make a. I know it is a potion that you created previously, so
Yes.
this is going to be slightly retroactive, but that's okay. I will allow you to make a, let's call it an alchemical expertise check.
Okay.
And if you roll high enough, this will be a potent enough version of this potion that you will be able to gain a semblance of having a foot.
Okay.
Where you do not during the duration. So we'll see what happens. We'll say because you are an alchemist, you will obviously have proficiency in this. So go ahead and make what's your spellcasting ability?
That's a good question.
Intelligence.
It's intelligence.
Yeah.
I just use the spellcasting modifier.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. I just want
Like
to
my
make sure.
spell attack.
Yeah, I would say roll a d20, add your spell attack modifier, because that would be your intelligence with proficiency. So
No idea what it is. Oh, I rolled a good thing. 26.
26. You are confident that this particular batch of this potion is potent enough that at least during the duration, you should be able to alter yourself to a more manageable version that includes a right foot.
Yay!
I forget. Did we sit here and take a long rest, or did the battle just end?
The battle just
I think the
ended.
battle just ended.
Yeah, so
What's the state of the flames? Are they
The
burnt
flames
out?
at this point have died down. There is just a giant ashen pile
Yeah.
that sort of remains there. There's still flecks of like this sort of ash, like snow-like ash that is sort of floating around you all. There isn't much wind or a breeze here, and because of this place has this aura of tranquility about it. Now that you have vanquished this terrifying creature, that it almost feels like the stillness of the air around you keeps the ash sort of suspended in air, just sort of always floating about. So there's, still a handful of debris around, not just on the mound.
Can I try to start kind of carefully sifting through some of the ash to see if, in particular, I saw that there was another realm sphere in here when I first broke through the thing, and knowing that it's magical, I'm curious if it survived the blaze.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Anybody want to help me look?
sure.
Yeah, I'll lend you a hand.
Use advantage. You need to leave.
That's a 12, I think.
12? Okay. You begin sifting through, and it takes you a while to really find much of anything in here. You do believe what you saw was true, that there was a realm sphere within this sort of, let's call it a little nook within this this hallowed tree. And knowing that the realm sphere is magical in a sense, and knowing how the properties of magical items usually work, it would make sense that it should have survived the the inferno, as it were. You search for about 30 minutes before you come to the conclusion that, the realm spheres are particularly large, right? So it probably would have made sense that if you just waded into the area where it should have been before, it probably would still be there. I mean, you search for like 30 minutes to the point where the mound sort of becomes this sort of spread out, let's call it more of like a little mini pool now of ash. You're covered in, you're just absolutely caked in white and gray.
Yeah.
Looks pretty badass. You're confident that it either was somehow engulfed by the flame, or something had happened to it, or it is not. You're confident that it is not here. It takes you about 30 minutes to get to that conclusion.
Okay. Damn. Would have been nice to have. Okay. One other thing. So when we first entered this area, we noticed that everything was basically burned. Is there a does this feel like just the entrance to like a whole region that you could just keep walking and walking, or is it just relatively enclosed, this space?
Make a survival check. 10. You don't necessarily know too much about how the typography of the Feywild works in general. Everything that you've seen so far suggests that there are just these pockets of space within this realm.
Yeah.
And sort of based on your conversation with Thonduil, that seems like that is the case for. I mean, you've only been to 2 places. The hedge maze that Thonduil calls his city or kingdom or whatever, and this grove. So, I mean, the inference that you are more comfortable making is that this is probably just a pocket.
Yeah.
And you certainly can go out and try to look. Who knows if there is a edge to this pocket, or if it just sort of like continues on ad nauseum. You'd have to go out and venture, but you're fairly certain at the very least that whatever this is, it's probably just a pocket.
Okay. I wonder if this whole area was kind of naturally scorched, or if somebody was here before we were. You know?
Maybe the tree grows back or something. It's like a phoenix tree or something like that.
I mean, maybe it's dead, as far as my definition of dead is. It couldn't have always been dead. I don't think.
It is the Feywild.
Yeah.
Yes, anything could happen here, I suppose.
Well, okay. I guess we got what we came here for.
Certainly hope so. Let's take it back to Thunderwheel.
Did you see anything of those little pods that were?
There's nothing left but ash.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's get going, shall we?
Yeah, quickly. This is only gonna last for like an hour.
Oh, well, we can, when it runs out, maybe we can just help you get along.
Yeah, that would be appreciated.
Okay.
Yeah, we're heading back to,
Begin to head back to the Kingdom of the Hedge Maze.
Yeah.
As you begin to return back to this sort of
I'll take the lead, by the way.
Sure. Kill begins to lead you back to that space in which you sort of arrived to this portion of the Feywild. Kill, go ahead and give me just a perception check as you sort of return here.
22.
22. You approach this sort of area that you hopped into this portion of the realm. And you look around, and where you recall there being like a sort of like a portal-ish situation that allowed you to come through here, there isn't really much of anything. I mean, it looks familiar. This little space here looks familiar in the wood, and there's a larger tree that you remember sort of coming out of. Obviously, you went into a hedge wall that sort of opened up into a portal. But the portal that you came in from is no longer open. Sort of just this tree here. You look around the area, and I mean, you're very confident that this is the place that you entered in from. However, the portal is no longer open.
Well,
Or at the very least, there doesn't seem to be even like a a remnant of a portal here.
He did say we'd have no problem getting back, so I don't know what this is.
Was it this tree right here?
Oh, it was definitely this tree.
Can I go up and like put my hand on it?
Yeah.
Can I feel anything?
You go up, you put your hand on it, and as you touch the bark of this sort of crooked, leafless, lifeless tree, this husk, you begin to feel shifting under the bark, and then little sprouts of leaves poke through your fingers, and it begins to sprout around you and form around your hand until it sort of starts to bloom into what looks to be almost like little blades of grass, and the tree almost before your eyes starts to make this transformation from this dead carcass of bark into a wall of what seems to resemble the wall of the hedge maze that you returned to, and it sort of starts to engulf your vision around you. You all begin to see Thuisa's hand sort of begin to pass through, and her form begins to move into the bark. Thuisa, though, through your point of view, you are engulfed by this hedge wall until you eventually fall through and pass to the other side. Her form disappears.
I just say, simple enough. I just do this.
Oh, platform 9 and 3/4 this shit.
I don't know which is. I assume one of us is dragging the body of the tooth fairy.
Are you taking the body or the head?
Or can we just chop off the head? Is that something?
That already happened, I believe.
Oh, did it?
I believe Kaz did that.
I don't think so.
I thought we were just dragging the body.
Didn't you slice the throat?
You did
I think
throw them.
That was like the killing blow. I don't think
Yeah,
to cut off
you-
the head.
You might be right.
It's half
I
done.
definitely got the neck. I don't know if we cut the head off entirely. I'm fine with saying we did though.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
That-
sure.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Head makes sense.
Thought that
You
was the
don't have to
case.
carry the whole body necessarily.
It's easy enough. It's small anyway.
Yeah.
Just hanging on
So
by
one of
it.
us has the head, I assume.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. You all pass through.
Go through.
As you do, you emerge onto the other side. Duisa, you're the first to see this. Where that space was that Thonduil led you to, you actually don't emerge into that same space on the other side. You sort of, as your vision sort of comes to, you notice immediately that you are back in that center portion of the hedge. That same table with a whole sort of smorgasbord of food, mounded up on top of it into like a pile of as many different fruits and meats and cheeses and all these different things as possible. You can see his demeanor is slightly different than you remember when you first met him at this table, where his legs were kicked up and he was sort of in the throes of this gluttonous ecstasy. The two-faced king Thonduil sort of sits with his mask just to the side of him, his hands in his lap and one leg crossed over the other, almost just sort of shifting his feet back and forth like a seesaw as he's sort of lifted up off the ground on the lip of the table, just sort of waiting until he seems to notice your arrival, and turns and looks at you and says, your companion, and then the rest of your companions arrive. I guess that answers that question. How did it all go? And then he just sort of notices your condition and just watches the head roll onto the ground. Successful then.
Yes, that is so this is the tooth fairy then.
Yes, this is...
You did say the tooth fairy was a pixie. Is that what this is?
Well, there are... And he hops up off the table and begins to walk over to it. He kneels down in front of it, this sort of more demon-looking than fey head of this creature, this pixie as he called it. Its lower jaw, like, almost, not ejected, but just elongated out of its skull with these lower, serrated, almost shovel-like teeth. He says, well, there are many forms of pixie and fey folk. It depends on many things, how the realm affects them. Their involvement in certain rituals or practices, or simply their dispositions can affect their physicality and their desires. So this is a pixie, yes, in some sense of the word.
Right. Well, suppose we should be getting on with it. May we request our boon now?
Certainly. What do you desire?
Right. I suppose this is. May I proceed with what we agreed upon? The boon I would like to request is for you to restore to me all of my lost memories.
He holds up his left hand, still kneeling, looking up at you. This sort of humbled king, as he calls himself. And he begins twisting the fingers of his left hand. And he conjures.
I found this on the web.
Thanks, Siri.
That's where his memories.
That's where his memories are. I found your memories on the web.
Hey, Siri.
He begins to conjure something in his hand. And he twists out of the atmosphere itself what seems to be this little moat. Almost a familiar looking type of energy. And it begins to glow very brightly. And it gets bigger in his palm until it's the size of perhaps about the size of your head or so. And he holds it there, and he takes his right hand, and you can see the veins in his arm and the muscles in his fingers begin to tense. And he condenses it down to the size of a little bead. It's this infinitely bright, held together mote of an extreme amount of energy. You all can sort of feel this, almost this gravitational pull that this little bit of arcanum holds in the palm of this creature's hand. And you can see beads of sweat have already begun to perforate in his forehead. And he stands and he walks over to you. And the mote sort of falls up to the tip of his finger, and he plucks it with his thumb, and he holds it here. And he brings it up between you and him. And he says, I wish for you to be restored to your full self. And he touches the mote on your forehead. And your eyes close. And you all see the mote. And for a moment, you don't feel anything. It's this sense of warmth for a moment, but nothing really happens. Until you are flooded with an array of knowing that is overwhelming. It hits you harder than you've ever been hit in the entirety of your existence. For as old of a creature as you are, now knowing this knowledge, this ancient lore overcomes you. You are fallen to your knees. You retch at your stomach as all of your history happens to you in a moment. It's not as simple as remembering who you are or what you've done. It is a sensation of experience that you've lost, these centuries of a creature old that you are, this almost eternal fae that you really are, hits you in a fraction of a second. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Is this charm?
This is not charm. this is certainly not charm.
I think I'm gonna Tides of Chaos this.
Okay.
To a con check, right?
Constitution saving throw.
I got a 18.
18. You and you pass out. You all see Indigo retch for a moment and just collapse onto the ground. And Thonduil, well, I had a suspicion that might have happened. And he leans down and he brushes a bit of your hair out of your forehead and he mutters an incantation. And you, he heals you as you are at 0 hit points.
Oh.
He heals you for 12 HP.
Okay.
And you remember everything. You remember the founding of the Feywild. You remember the great Lord of the Fey singing this realm into existence. You remember the great bard weaving life from nothing into an array of life. You remember serving on his personal court. You remember living aeons before death was introduced into all the realms. You remember the age of eternity. You also remember your banishment. You remember your crimes. You remember your punishment. But better so, you remember the mortal life that you lived after this, that you continue to live. You remember your mortal friends. You remember your travel companions. You remember the little golden egg that you helped raise into one of the new lords of the Fae. And you remember the name of this little dragon, Thonduil.
Can you spell it for me?
The same man that stands before you, that granted you your memory.
Oh, shit.
Can you spell it for me?
I thought you said something started with a D.
No, Thonduil.
Thonduil.
Holy shit.
Jamie, you have this habit of just like not
It's my favorite thing in the entire world. Yeah, fuck it.
In real life, I have like a negative wisdom score.
And he looks at you
Oh.
and he says, all I've hoped was to see you again, Father.
I'll stand up and run over and hug Thonduil.
And he embraces you with what you only once ever felt as a memory. Finally, this reality is within your arms. And you can feel the tears hit your shoulder of essentially what is your child.
Do I remember?
You also remember.
I'll just turn to the right and I'm like, I told you guys this is way better than Petrichor.
You also remember your companions that helped you, for lack of a better word, let's say, attain this child. And it hits you like a hammer in the head. That face that you saw, in that dream, that vision, that devilkin that you saw, clad in armor, that creature that visited you all in Aberlock. You remember your old friend Revelry. The Five of Hells.
Last time I saw Thonduil, before we came back here, were they in this same state? Or I guess I'm curious am I aware of how they arrived at this position?
That you do not, no, that you don't recall. That, when last you saw Thonduil, when last you met Thonduil, you were in the process of, you had felt, so you returned to the Fae. With Thonduil, you raised Thonduil as a hatchling into adulthood, and at this point, I mean, you also regain your full understanding of how the passage of time works in the Fae.
Okay.
And you also know that it is entirely possible when you all leave here, any amount of time could have passed in the real world, whether it be a fraction of a second or 100 years or more. That also hits you relatively quickly, and you sort of have this weird sense of like anxiety about that for like a moment, and then you're like, all right, yeah.
Hurry up.
So it makes sense that the last thing that you remember before you sort of woke up on the island of Moor was you had felt the presence of your companions enter into the Fae. Because of your previous abilities here in the Fae, which you remember you do not have access to, because you were a founding member of the Sealy Court. You had a level of ability that was on par, if not greater, than Thonduil's currently. You were essentially an acting lord of the Fae for a long time. You also remember your crimes, which you keep to yourself. We don't have to talk about them now. I will, just for the sake of whatever.
I'm aware I have been banished from the Sealy Court?
Yes.
Okay.
You were able to return to the Fae with Thonduil. You raised Thonduil in this sort of exiled place. This hedge maze that you created yourself here. And a poor unfortunate soul that you recall named Kafir sort of wandered in here, and you essentially commanded it to sort of stay here and aid Thonduil best you could.
A nanny.
Yeah, well, nanny. The nanny. A little homie for him, a little friend. And while holy fuck, Fran Drescher, I love it. Oh man, used to be very, very attracted to her. Yes.
Friends.
Same.
So, essentially, the last thing you recall before you woke up on the island of Moor was feeling the presence of your companions arrive in the Fae. It was in another sort of area near your little humble abode that you were hidden out at, you were hiding out at. And you went to try to find them. And upon searching for them, your presence became known to another denizen of the Feywild. An old, let's call them, well, it doesn't matter, you remember everything, so I don't have to hold anything back.
You're talking about the person who we talked about in my backstory originally?
No, this is a different person.
Okay.
You remember your sister. Agatha. Found you in what has now become her pocket of the Fey realm. And because you trespassed in her land, she forced you back out.
That bitch.
And stole your memory from you.
That bitch.
And that's the last thing that you remember before waking up on Moor.
Okay. And it's the last I remember, Thonduil was like a child still, or
Thonduil was essentially a child in the sense of your age, sure. You are an ancient creature.
sure.
But we'll say the mortal years of Thonduil, by the time you left him, he was a young dragon.
Okay. And did he have this sort of wild surge quality that I seem to have?
Not that you recall.
Okay.
No. It has likely been some time since you've been here. You can pretty confidently assume that.
Okay.
And because he was a creature that was not born, you have all of these assumptions because
Okay.
you have intimate knowledge of the Fae.
I don't want to bog things down too much with getting all these new details necessarily, but I just want to get like...
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So whatever question
Sure.
you can ask, it will be very likely that I have an answer for you
Okay.
without a check.
So yeah, I'm sort of... Wow, okay. Lot to talk about. Thonduil, what happened? What happened?
Well, after
This is my child, by the way. Hello, this is my son.
Yes.
Oh, hi.
Call into that.
He's pretty weird.
Yes.
yes,
A little weird.
Like father.
like father, like son.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh god. Well, so yes. What
Yes, well, when Agatha found you, this is all that I've heard from sort of the other folk that I've been able to speak with. Still, I've kept a distance. I'm sorry that I had to lie to you before. It's not necessarily because I fear to harm others. While that would be regrettable, I keep here more to keep the balance of the other lords. Agatha's disdain towards me is palpable still. I believe in mortal years it's been 700 or so since you've been here, as far as I recall, something like that. Kafir might have a better understanding. I don't know.
Don't think he understands anything.
You'd be surprised. He actually has a more intimate. His disposition is similar to my own. We are both, unfortunately, how do I explain this? Right now, we are synced in our expressions, let's call them, our episodes. Usually, it is such that we stay opposite, and one can rein the other in if my mask becomes incapable.
How did this happen to you? What did someone do this to you? What happened?
Since, well, I suppose the first thing that you should understand is that the Fae has been sort of, how do I say this? Ungovernable for some time.
What of the Fey Lord?
Lord Octavian has not been present for
Oh.
centuries. We do not know why. I have minor hypotheses, but it's just I truly do not know. No one has been able to see him or speak with him or feel his presence here in a very long while. And since then, there's this sort of stalemate between the lords here. I fear that if I do much else besides keep myself busy here, that any of the others might take that as a motion against them.
Sort of a complex political situation.
Yes, everything seems to be at a standstill. No one wants to step out of line.
What is the tension? What is it that the Fey Lords are fighting over?
Because Lord Octavian is not, or has not been known or seen or felt in centuries, there's sort of a vacuum of power. We all know each other to be of considerable and similar strength. Should one of us step into that role, or attempt to, certainly the other three might, or would, lash out against that. No one wants to risk making that leap. But, at the same time, I've heard whispers.
Is this like a Seelie versus unseelie thing? Differences in ideologies?
It depends, yes. It's a little more complicated than that. Even the unseelie, they are by nature a bit more wanting for freedom and a casting off of this tiered existence. But should chaos reign in the Fae, I worry for the rest of the denizens of this realm who cling to order.
So just so I understand, so you're currently the Lord of Twilight, right?
Yes.
Then Agatha is Lord of Everdark. Who were the Lords of Morningtide and Everbright?
The Lady of Morningtide is the Autumn Queen.
And Everbright?
The Lord of the Everbright. If I look into my notes.
The Autumn Queen is Unseelie, right?
Yes.
Morningtide is a Magic the Gathering set.
Ooh,
Wow, I can't
So I have fond memories of.
lovely. Hold on, I'm scrolling. There's a lot of notes.
So then it is.
Stop it.
I'll let you.
It's okay.
I forgot.
I know about my backstory now.
Oh no.
Hello.
Yeah, just counting them, making sure they're all there. Never know when you could lose a shoulder.
Oh my god, where are you? Hello?
Consequently, there were a lot of Fae in Morningtide.
Yes. Makes sense, huh? Okay, where are you?
Well, this setting. Yeah.
Function's very good.
Got distracted.
It's very good.
I'd be able to finish this one.
There were,
Well, I had mixed some that Sal didn't think was too strong.
it's very good.
He's such a bitch.
The
DM drinks.
DM drinks.
And Extra said that your voice is a bit raspy and sexy.
Thank you, Extra. It is.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, nice.
The Lord of the Everbright is Daleth, the Shepherd.
Date. That's
You see.
He is.
So is Thunderwheel, are you affiliated with the Seelie currently, or how does that work?
By my nature, yes. By my action, I suppose you could say no.
So you and I are still kind of on the outs with the Seelie, is that how that works?
Sort of. Should I be called to serve at the Seelie Court, I would. I truly believe that I would. But, as I've said, there is a distinct lack of coordination between any of them. Even those of the Unseelie. Usually that is their nature, but I believe that there is something brewing beneath all of this. It would be my hypothesis, my hunch, that Aunt Agatha would move against me.
What do I know about Agatha in terms of, like, is she just like a total asshole, or...
No, No, she's not.
Okay.
She's always been very she's always been jealous of you. You do know that there is a love between the two of you. But you were one of the original creations. Part of your existence exists directly from the Song of Creation that Lord Octavian sang in order to birth this realm. You are inherently, in many ways that other denizens of the Fae are not. There are stories that suggest that all Fae have a portion of the realm connected with them. And in many ways that is true. You know that to be true. But those stories come from the original Song of Creation for the Feywild. You are as much a part of the realm as the realm exists in the Omniverse.
Okay. So she's, but in terms of her, she's kind of, so she's jealous.
So she's kind of a
like-
bitch then.
She's kind of like resentful and like.
She is not
She's
that.
a sibling.
However, she's extraordinarily, she has a guile and a cunning to her.
She's sort of a Loki a little bit.
I would very much equate her to a Loki.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Or like
it is a
an
very, or like an Agatha. It is very much a Thor Loki
Okay.
vibe.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's always been Agatha.
So how would, I guess I'm curious how you think people would react to me kind of showing up in the other realms.
It's your. Oh, well, are you asking Thonduil?
Yeah,
or?
yeah.
Thonduil says, well, knowing the last time you accidentally were discovered, I don't know. Perhaps Daleth would entertain you at the very least, or not be against your presence here. I don't know.
Wait, why aren't you allowed here?
It's a bit of a long story. I'll explain it later. Little bit of a kerfuffle I got into. We can get into that later. Right. Okay. So, I guess here's what I'm ultimately getting at. Apart from you, what allies do I have here?
Well,
Also, just based on my own memories, I guess.
Sure.
I'm kind of thinking about this.
Thunderwheel says, well, I suppose. To be honest, Father, I don't know.
Right. Okay.
You have me, of course.
Right. And also, I'm assuming based on my memories I got back, I kind of have a better idea of like how this whole boon thing works. Like, is he able to give us another one, or is that just like one? It's like a one per customer kind of thing.
You're actually not certain of his ability. This is not an ability that you possessed.
Okay.
Back in the day, seems pretty nebulous. So
Right. Okay.
you can certainly ask him.
Yes, Thunderwheel. You are very powerful. It seems.
Thank you.
I don't get how does this work? Is can you not give us another boon ever again, or how does this work?
It would be some time before I'm able to.
It has like a cooldown. Is that how are you saying?
You could say that, yes.
Okay.
It's a cool down.
Well,
And you would have to, unfortunately, due to my status, you would have to
do another.
complete another. And it is not necessarily. There are not many I've tried. There are not many loopholes you can get around. If I said, "Oh, can you just make me a cake?" You know,
I'll
I
probably
mean-
turn it. Knowing how our family works, it probably just turn into a cake.
Yes, it would probably
That's what
just
I
be a
would
cake.
do,
Yes,
if I'm
yes,
being
yes.
honest.
Correct.
Right. Okay. So,
Do you feel any different other than your memories?
do I?
Have you like, gained a level or two?
You have not. Your level has not
He
changed.
did very specifically say it would be fully restored, so I didn't know if maybe something else would pop back in.
Well,
Your foreskin is back.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice, cool. Got my hood back. Nice.
My ears aren't pierced anymore.
You're even.
Very evil. You don't necessarily. I mean, you have a soreness to you because you just got knocked the fuck out. by this overwhelming experience.
Yes, I mean, I feel I certainly know a lot more than I did before, but yes, I mean, okay. Sorry, it's so good to see you. I'm so I wish I could have. You're so grown up now. You've got a big scary mask and things.
Oh, you know, just something for the
Well, we'll have
parties.
to catch up as soon as possible. But
Yes.
okay, I think we should. So here's where we're at.
Yes.
We need a way to give Kaz and Dweesa their limbs back, and we need a way to either close the portal or find some way of making it safe. Any ideas?
I have a few. As far as the rift, now that I know that it is more accessible than the usual thin spaces between the realms, I can simply keep a better watch over it. My knowing that it is the case and my presence here will deter any any unsavory folk to attempt to traverse it. If you may recall, when you have the knowledge of your surroundings here in the Fae, your will extends into the very fabric of the realm, and you can sort of keep them at bay should you be aware of whatever is going on. So now that I am we're caught up and I am able to converse with you properly, I can look after that. So the rift, I will handle myself.
That is very helpful.
What about when you're in your mood?
Well, Kathir should be looking out for me. So hopefully that will be the case. And while my mood is erratic, when my expressions come about me, that does not, let's say, negate my command over my portion of the realm. If that makes sense.
Not really, but I don't have much choice but to trust it.
That is so generous of you, Thunderwheel, but this is you can't be happy here. This is no life to live. You're just in this forest and watching over this portal and just being alone all the time. That sounds awful.
It's not the worst thing in the world. There's a quiet knowing that my duty now is to keep a balance here. Loneliness can creep in, but it could creep in no matter if I was surrounded by friends and family.
Well, if we can keep the portal open safely, then I'll certainly come visit you. Is there nothing that we can do to help you? Like, to get you so you don't have to do this all the time?
I'm not sure for now. I've heard whisperings. I've heard...
I mean, could I take your place?
I don't know. Forgive me, Father. I don't mean to...
You can say it. You ain't strong enough right now, my friend.
Oh, well, that's... Hey,
Remember when you wiped the floor with us?
I guess that's true.
But that doesn't mean we can't get stronger and come back.
Sure. I don't... If... I'm going to do what I can to try to help you. If we'll find some way to give you a better life.
I've heard. And this must stay between us. If he is found by Agatha or the Autumn Queen, based on what I've heard, it may not be good for the realm, or for others, or for other realms.
If who is found?
Lord Octavian.
Oh.
I've heard that he has left the Fae.
That's the Fae is in...
Is that some sort of euphemism, or?
You mean he's just not in this realm, or he's like no longer Fae?
I do not know. What is the Lord of the Fae if he is not within his realm?
Well, he's left the realm before. Does it sound like this is more of a permanent kind of thing, you're saying?
He has not returned in some time. Nor has anyone known his whereabouts. But there are whispers that he is fled to Petrichor. I do not know why, and I do not know where. But my hunch is that he is looking for something.
Do you know what?
Every parent longs for the child.
Is that... You're talking about me?
There are others, Father.
The other founders? Or the other... Memory-wise, how does... Like, is Octavian my parent, technically?
Not really.
Okay.
Octavian is your god.
Sure, okay.
Do you know if Octavian has a child? Someone that he considers a child?
Is there someone that, based on what Don was saying, is like, who would Octavian's child be, based on to my knowledge?
You are uncertain.
Octavian had a... Wait, what do you mean Octavian's child? Did Octavian have a child?
No one must know. He fell in love with a mortal being. What is happening over there?
She's just absolutely freaking out.
I just typed being with two E's.
A mortal being.
Be yourself.
Don't mind me.
A small being.
He fell in love with a mortal when before he ascended. And that love persisted.
Before he ascended, you're saying Octavian was not always a god?
You would know. You know
this.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
Never mind, I knew that.
That's okay. You knew that from before.
Fair.
Got you.
That's okay. Don't
Got you,
worry about it.
Thranduil.
Got you, Thranduil.
So, okay,
Got
so
you,
it's,
idiot.
so it's Octavian's child from before he ascended. That's what you're saying?
Got your
From a
nose.
previous marriage.
Yes.
Okay. Do we know who this person is?
I do not know. But my hunch is that he's searching for them.
Do we know who Octavian's lover was?
I do not.
Well,
How long ago had that to have been?
Aeons.
would the child still be alive?
I can only assume so, otherwise why would he go out and search for them?
Does the name Octavian mean anything to us?
Well, we did. I remember at the one temple they told us about different gods. We know it is one of the gods. But as far as
Octavian is one of the Demos gods.
Okay.
You are familiar. Not familiar intimately, but you know that Octavian is the Demos god of love and beauty and
If
song and
Octavian had
all
a
that.
kid, would that not be some sort of god as well?
Well, it sounds like it was the child that he fathered before he became.
Before he ascended. So if it was,
If it was just a mortal, then it would just be a mortal child, wouldn't it?
Well, maybe it's like a. I mean, when you know how sometimes if like your dad is short, you might be short. Maybe if you're born to someone who ascends to godhood,
Had like a godhood potential.
you're
sort
more
of thing.
likely to become a god.
well, there's some folks that just don't really ever die of old age anyway, right? So maybe he inherited.
Maybe could he have granted the child some kind of
you know that.
immortality?
Yeah, elves.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I heard about.
what I thought was old.
Yeah, I heard about like elves never age,
You don't look-
never age out. So maybe.
I suppose it's
Never
possible.
really thought about
Could
it.
it be have elf heritage, or maybe after he became a god, he somehow gifted the child immortality of some kind.
It's always a possibility.
Maybe.
Plus, with the
That
great,
would be. It's possible, but that would be very
That's kind of frowned upon. Is that
taboo.
yes?
I suppose.
That's quite a bit of interference in mortal
sounds
affairs.
Yes.
Gods are known for their discipline, are they?
Well, not their discipline, but their fear of punishment.
Who punishes the gods?
Oh, the demos, the ethos would punish them. They are the claim of the ethos, in the same way that I am claimed my father, and my father is claimed Octavian. And as my father was once a Lord of the Fae, who punishes a Lord of the Fae? Octavian himself.
If we did find Octavian, do you think? I'm sure he could do something for you, right? Something that gets you out of this.
If you could find Octavian, he would write this. At least I would hope. I would be. I've been praying that he would write this stalemate of tension here.
Well, okay. So there's that, and
Is your father still alive?
do I have a father?
Because can't he?
You don't necessarily have a father now.
doesn't
You
really-
were created out of song.
It doesn't exactly work like that.
Can the song punish Agatha? Is Agatha claim of the song? Maybe you play it real loud.
Agatha is like my father, as she is his sister. Octavian has the authority to
Oh, I see.
punish her, as technically do I, but I do not have the strength.
Octavian's not really my father, but he is the daddy. If that makes
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, a good way to put it.
sense.
yes.
Well, okay. So,
A lot of
that-
daddy issues going on, that's for sure.
You could say that again.
as far as just sort of like giving people their hands back, is there someone that can do that here?
Well,
That would maybe
I'm sure
be
there are.
willing to do it if we asked.
I'm sure there are many folk that could do it here. I'm sure the shepherd himself could do it. Gaining an audience with someone with that type of power here would be difficult for you. Again, no offense against you, Father.
What do I recall about the shepherd's opinion of me?
Daleth is known as the most benevolent creature in the Fae. They call him the shepherd for a reason. But he is also not known for he's very much the type of his how do I put this? His disposition is such that he sees his people as his people and others as
It's very tribal.
yes.
Very xenophobic.
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
Not xenophobic in the sense of
Not xenophobic. He just doesn't give a fuck
yeah.
if you're not.
Yeah,
part
if
of
you're
the
not
xeno.
if you're not in the herd, you do your problems are your own.
And with me being technically no longer part of the Sealy courts, you would probably not have a great.
That's you get the sense from Thandui. Yeah, you get the sense that is likely the case.
Gotcha. Right. Okay. And he's the only one. I mean, I guess this is also based on my memories. You basically have to regrow someone's limbs, you have to be at that level of power, or is there anyone?
Not necessarily. There are a handful of folk that possess the ability to restore biological parts. However, it would take some time. I do not possess the arcane knowledge myself, though I study as much as I can. I suppose I could learn. I don't know how long it would take me to learn, but I have heard of arcanic process, and in addition to that, not just arcane process, but there are those of the mortal realm of Petrichor that are so intertwined with the realm around them in the same way that I am intertwined with this realm, that they can weave the spiritual energy of the realm into someone's body and can regrow or restore them that way. That would also take some time, as far as I know.
We were talking about going to Highreath anyway. I mean, if anyone fucking knows how to do it, it's them.
It's true.
Make do for now.
I suppose we shouldn't stay here too much longer. We have no idea how much time has passed.
Yeah, I'm keen to.
Well,
With the great Jeremy Bearimy of time in Feywild's here.
sure. That's a reference that exists here.
No one stopped me. It's canon, bitch.
Well, all right.
Is there anything you can do to guide us back to Petrichor?
I mean, I probably know the way back, right?
Well, I don't mean. Can I finish?
What, dude?
Can I finish? To control sort of not, where but when we get back there.
That is a governance that only the Lord himself can offer.
So by the time we get back, it could be. This all could be irrelevant.
Suppose we should go back and find out what year it is, and then we can proceed from there. Let's. Thunderwheel, I wish we could stay. There's so much I want to talk to you about.
I think we can stay.
You think we can?
Well, because by the time we leave, we could end up 1 billion years from now, or we could end up 2 seconds from now. Staying here an extra couple days hardly seems to make any difference.
Well, it could if each day equals like.
It would drastically make a difference.
It'll be another multiplier.
Yes. It could be exponential for all we know.
I'm not understanding, I guess, but that's fine.
I'm from here and I barely understand. Yes, I think we need to go back as soon as we can. Thunderwheel, I'm going to come back for you. I'm going to find a way to give you a better life than this.
Thank you, Father.
I'll give him another hug.
And he holds you tight.
Where's the neck?
Bigger hug.
I cast bigger.
Lift him hug. Spin him around.
I have a signet ring.
Okay.
That's one of my starting equipment. I assume it's some kind of assuming it's something I actually have.
It is the ring of the Sealy Court.
Ooh.
Now is this?
They let him keep it?
Yeah, it's a good question. Does it actually hold any authority? Like, does it actually grant me anything, or at this point?
Not anymore.
Yes. I'll take off my ring,
Okay.
and we'll take this.
And he looks at it in reverence. Like this is not something that he has.
Yes.
Ooh.
Take
Sorry.
this. I mean, I certainly don't need it out there. And I want you to have it, and consider this my promise that I'm going to find a way to help you.
And he looks at you and he looks at the ring. Are you certain?
I love you, Thunderwheel.
I love you too, Father. And he grabs the ring. And he hugs you again. And he takes the cloak off his back, the sort of half-shoulder cloak. And he puts it around yours and latches it onto your robe. And he says, "It is customary that we exchange
he puts the ring on. And he holds it in his hand. And he has gifted you
A cloak of billowing.
What?
A cloak of billowing.
That's way too powerful.
No, he has given
Abraham's
you.
Cloak, whatever this is.
Hey, Abraham's Cloak is still pretty good.
I'm
You
sure
can,
it
you
is,
can
but
decide
I feel
whatever
like,
you can decide whatever you
I
want.
actually have better stats on this one.
You can stack cloaks, baby.
No, he gives you.
Sentimental value doesn't give you pluses.
You sort of innately gain understanding of this item. He gives you the Cloak of Falling Stars.
Interesting name.
That's in D&D Beyond. I can put it into your thing in a second.
Interesting name, Sal.
It is an interesting name.
Interesting name, Sal.
It's
almost like it feels like a reference to me.
Huh.
It is a
That's weird.
interesting thing.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Sounds like it.
you gain a +1 bonus to AC and saving throws while you wear this cloak. The cloak has 7 charges. As an action, you can expend 1 or more charges to cause the stars on the cloak to streak towards a point within 120 feet. You don't have to write any of this down. I'm just telling you this. The +1 bonus to AC and saving throws is probably a good thing to write down right now. The rest of this I'll add later. Once it impacts against a solid surface, each creature within 5 feet must succeed on a DC 15 Dex save. On a failed save, a creature takes 2d6 radiant damage for each charge spent, or half as much on a successful one.
You can spend any number of charges for the attack, or was it?
You can expend 1 or more. Yeah.
Okay, nice. And the charges come back at the end of the day.
The Cloak of Falling Stars regains 1d6 plus 1 charges at dawn.
Okay,
Excuse me, at dusk.
at dusk. Okay.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. What was I don't know,
reworked.
do you have
So that it's more balanced. Yeah.
do you have Ibrahim's cloak pulled up by any chance? I don't remember if he got the major.
I was like, Sal, are you doing this to yourself again?
No. I am rectifying the choice that I made before. Yes, I have.
The cloak was the shield and quicken spell. Is that right?
Arcanist Mantle, yes. You gain spell speed 2. Once per day, you may choose 1 known spell from your spell list up to the so shield. Sorry, and then or no, that's different. Yeah, you have access to shield. No. Arcanist Tunic, you get the shield spell.
Okay, this is the tunic.
Yeah, the Tunic, you get a single charge of the shield spell, which you do not, use a slot to cast, and it permanently is enchanted with mage armor. So you always have mage armor up.
Whoa.
And you have a cast of shield for free once a day with the Tunic. The Mantle is the cloak that you have, which you have your spell save DC increases by 1, and your AC increases by 1.
Oh, I don't know if I ever actually
Wrote that down. All right, no
Or
worries.
maybe it was already accounted for in the stats.
Maybe.
If it says that on the thing.
Sure. And then you also have spell speed 2, which once per day you may choose 1 spell from your spell list up to the second and cast it as a bonus action. So you get to quicken spell for free once a day.
I'll just probably reprint my sheet with.
Yes. They are on there. But yeah, I can put and you can decide if you want to give the mantle to anyone else, or if you want to keep the mantle or whatever.
Mantle only work on
Sorcerers and
arcane
wizards.
casters.
Yeah.
There's one that was just sorcerers and wizards.
Yes, that is the mantle.
Yeah.
The tunic. Oh no, they are both sorcerer or wizard. So
Is Thondwheel a sorcerer or wizard?
Thonduil would be. We don't have to roleplay this. Thonduil would be considered a wizard.
Okay. Well, if you want a different cloak, I have one that I got from some asshole.
Oh.
It's pretty nice.
Well, I mean, my cloak was the gift for the signet.
Oh, right. Okay.
You guys could just keep
I'm
it
just I'm just going to leave this cloak here, and it's not for you, but it's for no one, and anyone can come and pick it up.
I gotta pick it up.
Well, I suppose
The prophecy is fulfilled.
I'm just kidding.
You could also. I mean, I don't.
I guess we could sell it, but I mean,
I was going to say, I'm sure you could find use for this. I do not require it, but thank you, Father. I appreciate that.
Well, all right. Of course.
Very kind of you. This is beyond. This is too much. My cloak is not enough.
Well, I think I owe you something for missing hundreds of years of fatherhood, a little bit, but
You were present for the formative years, and that is what counts.
I suppose that's just how this works. Well, we should go. I will be back.
can't wait to see you again. I'm glad that you were not taken from me this time.
Me too.
It has been a pleasure to meet you all. You fared valiantly, and I appreciate your aid. Many sleepless nights, moments here because of that creature. So thank you. Might I suggest there is a sect of druids. They call themselves the Morning Blade. I believe there is at least one amongst them that would be able to restore you. That is a hunch, but I would be surprised if that was not the case.
I'd much rather go to them than fucking High Wreath, I'll tell you that.
Do you know where we might find them?
Actually, I do. Let me rack my brain.
Thank you.
quick. We've definitely. Oh, absolutely. We've definitely talked about it. Right, there's one of them in the Ephesian Peak somewhere.
Yep, that's what Finrala told us.
Yeah.
Some of their more, how do I say this? Well-practiced members of the Circle traverse to the Fae from time to time. And they've arrived in my realm, in Eveningtide, every once in a while.
How many names?
What's that?
Remember any names?
No, I have not personally.
Oh, you just kind of sense them.
I can sort of
traversing,
sense
yeah.
visitors, yes. Get an understanding of who they are, but not who they are.
Sure.
Should I experience this, I will seek them out. Usually I just sort of live and let live for visitors, but I will keep an eye out. And if possible, I will try my best to contact you. If the veil allows it.
That would be appreciated.
All right.
Should we go?
Yes, let's go. See you soon. See you soon, son.
I await the day. Well, I'll see you off. And he just sort of, you can see that there's a sense of melancholy about him, but a calm sense of knowing. So you begin to traverse back to that sort of darkened path from which you came.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Doesn't take you too long. Eventually you return to that sort of rift split in the center of that decently large tree. A little ways away from the great hedge maze of Thonderwheel, the Two-Faced King. Indigo, you approach, you see that rift still there. Do you enter through it?
Yep.
You all see Indigo pass through with his new Cloak of Falling Stars strapped to his
Oh,
back.
fuck. Too late.
We kept it in case you wanted to sell it or something.
No, that's not what I'm thinking of.
Oh.
I'm thinking of something else, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, sure. The rest of you follow through?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no real way around it. Well, I'll tell you what I was worried about in case if it doesn't happen.
Okay.
Well, since you left the portal like 30 seconds before us, you could end up, hundreds of years.
I was
later,
more
earlier than
worried.
us.
They said that leaving from the Fae to the human world, you sometimes lose memories that way, which would be very
Funny.
You all pass through?
Since you told us
Yeah.
so little.
Okay, this is I'm supposed to occurs to me before I go through.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Nah, well, fuck
Nah,
it. You
shit
walk through.
happens, what-
Yeah, it'd be like that. That's the fun of the game.
All right.
Alrighty. Who wants to roll?
I don't.
I'm gonna make Hannah roll.
The instant anxiety is insane.
I feel like I have a lot riding on this roll.
Guys, we get to play a whole different storyline if you roll bad.
What are we doing? I don't know.
There is no
Nothing
rolling
that was
bad on
happening
this.
will matter.
Say it again.
I said, no, if we end up 1,000 years in the future, nothing that was going on will matter. We just start fresh.
Well, we didn't lose anything coming here, so maybe it'll be fine.
Yep. Maybe it will be. Hold on, I gotta find the. I wasn't on the table because I scrolled up for.
Giving them an idea.
We get out of here and it's like cyberpunk everywhere.
Oh my god.
No Shadowrun.
Yeah.
This would be
Sick.
somewhat freeing.
We've actually gone so far into the future that it's fucking like Warhammer.
It's Warhammer. Amazing. What? Where's the? Oh, there it is.
What is the Final Fantasy where they're like in the
You're
max in the
back.
beginning?
Put on your cyber
Final
visor.
Fantasy 6.
Let's go.
The Magitech armor.
Yeah.
You gotta go fight the robots.
What?
They're about to bomb the planet.
We're now doing what is it? Star. Oh shit.
Spelljammer.
There's
We're going to Spelljammer.
Spelljammer. There's Pathfinder, and then there's a
Starfinder. It's just called Starfinder. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're playing Starfinder.
Is that just
We're doing
Pathfinder in a
Pirates in Space.
futuristic setting?
We're doing,
Yeah, it's basically
we're doing Treasure Planet.
Pirates in
space
space.
stuff too. Yeah, it's basically more of a sci-fi.
Yes.
Pathfinder.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna do that fucking Treasure Planet AU. I'm doing it. Or I guess
Okay,
Patrick
so
or AU.
I gotta pull up the table real quick. Oh, there it is.
Treasure table?
Yeah, treasure table.
Yeah, we're gonna roll for treasure.
Roll
Roll
for
the loser.
You're
treasure.
totally rolling for treasure right now. Okay, so
Get us the good treasure.
No. The
all right,
treasure.
Hannah, please roll a d20.
I'm gonna
Two
roll
sex
the 4. I'm calling it.
It's two match ones.
7.
It's gonna be like lick.
7.
There's
Alrighty.
no nouns.
You all pass through into the realm of Petrichor once more, and you look around from whence you came in the center of the Tempest Peaks. And we'll be right back after this short break.
I hate you.
If you weren't going to, I knew you seeing me mouth it would make you.
No, I was gonna do it anyways. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll be right back, everybody. We'll find out just how much time has passed, or if any at all has. Who knows? Ooh,
We're actually 7 minutes in the past.
We run to ourselves.
What? You all watch yourselves walk
We keep
through.
ourselves from doing it. I lose all my memories again.
Oh, too fun. We're just gonna take a quick break, use the restroom, grab some snacks and stuff, and all that jazz. So I suggest you do the same. We'll be back in about 10-15 minutes or so. So stick around and find out what happens to our intrepid adventurers after the break. Be right back. Oh, welcome back. I don't know. I was trying something new. You think it worked?
Give it one more try. Put a little more oomph into it, dude.
Oh, okay.
Percent more.
Okay, one sec. Am I in frame?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait.
Better be in frame for this.
50% less physicality, though.
No, I liked it. I want to see where.
No, I want it to exclusively be all the energy, but I want you to be like slouched.
Oh, okay, cool.
Welcome back!
Welcome back.
What are you choking? What is it?
I did again. This is the third time. Hi guys, we're back. Okay, so sorry for all that. I just ate a couple almonds and I'm feeling good.
You feeling sexy?
I'm feeling real sexy right now. Anyway, you all emerge from the rift of the Fae.
Yeah.
Your companion, Hannah.
What did she roll?
She rolled a 7
A 7.
on a d20.
I did.
Heard.
You all look around you.
Couple of tasty morsels, I see.
And it seems the land hasn't really much changed at all.
Yep,
And Finrala walks right up to you and says, "Oh, wonderful. So how did everything go?
Well,
I did a bit of a flyer out. Oh my. Well,
I'm the only one that's exactly the same.
were you? Is the rifts?
well, first question. Do I notice any memories missing?
You
I guess I might if there's like, I suddenly don't remember any much between like the year 1 and 2 or something like that. I don't know. if I really could remember like all my history.
Oh, actually, you all need to make a wisdom saving throw. I forgot. Thank you for reminding me.
Shit!
No! Sorry.
Do we have homework this weekend?
We're all helping each other though, so we all have
You're not helping each other. It's a saving throw, not an ability check. Wisdom saving throw.
Dude, I've been rolling so low all day.
Oh, brother.
Why?
15.
I have an 11 on a natural 3.
Doesn't count as a spell or a magical effect, does it?
No, this is a law of nature.
That's a 7.
7. 3.
No, an 8, an 8, an 8.
An 8.
An 8.
I'm sure that'll make a difference.
So, sorry. So I need totals. So, 3.
8.
8.
Oh.
11.
11.
15. Can I use Ben Luck on this?
No.
Okay.
Can I use roll again?
No.
I would like to use cheat.
Indigo,
I would like to use lie.
you
Lie.
have retained all your memories from the Feywild.
Sweet.
I don't give a shit about the Feywild.
Sirik has. So actually, we'll have to retcon this.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking.
As Finrala begins to approach you, you just sort of step out, and you immediately notice that your left hand is missing.
Oh shit!
You retain no knowledge. oh gods. Just a moment, and Finrala just immediately begins looking at your hand and everything. Dweesa, you step out of the portal, and you immediately notice that your right foot is missing. You retain no knowledge of the Feywild. And Finrala, what happened? And just like immediately goes to check on the both of you.
Right.
Kill. You step out of the portal, and you dust yourself off. You remember everything.
I feel great.
Is this
pull out
just
an
DC
orange.
was 10, by the way.
I pull out an orange. I just...
Right. I probably should have. I'm realizing now I probably should have prepared for this a little. So, okay. Everything. Most things are fine.
You guys were both fine with this about 5 minutes ago.
I mean, you weren't fine with it, but you kind of accepted it, and I guess we're back to now where you have.
Hold on one second. I have to check something.
Okay.
You 1000%. You do not remember anything. Yeah. Sirkaz, you have no fucking recollection. I have to check one thing.
You have no fucking
you got no fucking.
recollection of that shit. You got no fucking.
I'm gonna drink to forget.
Drink to forget.
Actually, Dweesa, you do remember everything.
Oh damn.
You do remember.
Just me.
It's just you.
Oh, I can stop having my panic attack.
You
Wait.
Sorry, I had to clear
Still
things up.
have it.
I just read something specific that has exceptions for certain things. You do recall everything. You actually did not need to make a save.
Hey, what the fuck?
Hey, what the fuck? Anyways, you don't remember anything. You're freaking the fuck out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Oh. Okay.
What? Yes.
Okay. You appear to have lost your memory, so we were just in the Feywild, we did some things, and your hand got removed.
got, mate.
Yes.
It's
As did
my hand is nothing anymore.
Right. We're going to fix that. We're going to find some way to fix that. Okay. Lot to talk about. So first thing, Finrala, the portal will remain open. However, we met my son in there, who is in a. Yes, I have a son. He's in a sort of position of power at the moment. It's not like a great situation, but we can trust him to guard the portal, and no one else should come through it.
All right. Well, that's wonderful.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Also, while we were in there, some people lost some limbs.
I see that. Yes.
Yes, I don't suppose you know anyone who's able to sort of remedy that sort of situation.
Well, if anyone, I know that there are some members of the Morning Blade that
The Morning Blade, yes.
would have some knowledge in this aspect. I know that the practice would take some time,
but the process could get started. I haven't had contact with many members of the circle in some time, but I suppose if you headed over to...
It's the orcish fellow in the Ephesian Peaks, right?
Yes.
You told me that?
Orcish lady, I believe.
Oh. Lady?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Can't remember either.
It's hard to tell with orcs.
I just wrote...
There's a person in the Ephesian Peaks.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool.
I'm certain that... Well, there's...
Oh, you know what? I thought it was a woman, and then you reiterated that it was a man, and I crossed out the "w."
Ah, wonderful. Perfect.
I'm assuming what that means.
Yes. I feel as though that would be a good place to start.
Sure.
I know it's a ways away, but you know...
Nothing like climbing a mountain on 1 foot.
I think the other possibility we were considering was High Reef. Do you think anyone there would be willing to help us with this?
Willing to is a strong word.
Or I guess there's able and there's willing.
I do
We've
not...
got the pay for it.
Yes, I mean... I've heard of them as less than benevolent.
They're not really a hospital, I get it.
Right.
Do hospitals exist? I don't know.
Infirmaries.
Yes, well, okay. So I guess it sounds like... Well, I guess... Okay, well, as far as the portal goes, though, that seems to be dealt with for the time being. We have a lot of things to go over, but it sounds like, Fenrala, we have dealt with the portal.
Wonderful. I'm very grateful for you. I'm in your debt, and as is this province. Truly, if the rift would have gone unchecked, I can't imagine the chaos that might have been unleashed upon the denizens of the Black World.
Do you think there's a risk of anyone wandering in from this side?
No, I mean, we're rather out of the way in the peaks. I'd be very surprised, and if they did, then certainly Von May would not be with them.
Sure.
I pity any fool that is the case of.
Yes.
I do indeed pity the fool.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well,
Do you have my smelling salt?
Oh, yes. And she reaches into a pack at her hip and pulls out a handful of smelling salts. Hands them over to you.
Thank you. I'm gonna take a little.
Little bump.
Thank you.
Yes, of course.
Do you wanna?
I'm alright.
Okay.
Should we head back to Aberlock?
yes. Let's head back.
All right.
Could someone give me a hand?
Of course, yes, certainly.
Are you going to give her a hand?
Yes.
Down these peaks and to...
Oh, you mean?
Everlock.
Well, I thought you meant like walking.
Could
over to
help
okay,
me. I'm so sorry.
I see what you mean. Do we still have?
It's fine.
Who summoned the flyers to get us here? Was that you, Kill?
That was Kill. Who could have done this?
Well, I thought it could have been Finrala. I couldn't remember.
Finrala transformed into a giant
She flew
owl.
herself.
Yeah. She transforms into a giant owl this time, and she picks up both Kaz and Thuisa, since they are rather small people. Rather light people.
5, 6.
And you are very skinny.
Yeah.
Shredded.
I'm very little.
Lean.
Shredded.
Shredded it is.
Yeah, I'll summon up a gaggle of owls.
Geese.
I love it. All right, yeah, for the sake of brevity, you guys head back to Aberlock, and we'll just say, you know, for the rest of the, what we would call the evening, you sort of recoup back at the Grappled Thigh.
Right. Okay. So again, lots to talk about. I guess first I'll catch Kaz up on what happened in the Feywild in more detail.
You were very stoic when you lost your hand.
Yes, you seemed more okay with it than I was expecting, to be honest.
I think.
I think you kind of like the idea of the aesthetic a little bit.
I think.
Not saying you like don't want your hand back, but like that's just what I recall.
Listen, it's just however it happened, the fucking creature thing. When it happened, I felt the pain of it. Presumably went into shock, and then I kind of dealt with it. Here, I remember walking into a portal, and then the next thing I know, I'm walking out of it. Sans hand.
Yes. No, I can imagine that's very.
It felt very thrust upon.
Sure. Well.
It was pretty abrupt at the time too.
Alright, but I didn't like scream or anything.
No, I think you did. I remember.
Reacted
Yeah.
appropriately to
Okay,
the
you
hat,
said
I would
stuck-
say.
Like a little baby. Yeah, I don't know what they're talking
Well,
about.
I meant afterwards, like,
Afterwards, you were quite.
because Indigo was all like, "Oh, you guys could wish for your limbs back," and you're like, "No, no, no,
No,
Indigo.
I wasn't for that.
No, you were very
mean-
much for Indigo getting his memories back."
I don't know.
I
There's
follow.
one other thing that it was for.
I feel like I kind of feel like you guys are fucking with me a little bit, but because that doesn't sound like me. But all right.
I wouldn't have
It was
done
a
that
difficult
if you
situation.
didn't. So
And we were sort of hoping that getting the memories back would open up other avenues for us, which I think it kind of has, a little bit.
kind of.
So, right. I'll also catch you up on what we learned about Octavian and the fact that he's here apparently, maybe. And there's like a political struggle in the Feywild. So there's all of that.
Jesus Christ.
I certainly have a
mean-
vested interest in finding Octavian for reasons. But so as far as so it seems like the biggest priority is probably getting your foot and hand back. I would think that seems like, or at least that's certainly certainly up there for the matter of like being able to move around easily and like fight well and things like that.
It'll make the rest
That
of our
seems
journeys
important.
and quests easier.
Sure.
I'd like to meet the Morning's Blade anyway.
Yes, that they do sound quite interesting.
Unless you guys are just gonna leave me here.
What? No, why would we do that?
Well, we never really learned your whole deal, did we?
What does that mean?
Just like why you're here, why you came with us, and all that.
She gave us a answer.
Did she?
Yeah, I mean, sorta.
Look, I'm not here to. We all have pasts. Not all of us. I mean, I certainly have a great deal more of a past that I recalled having, and I'm sure that's not all of it's stuff you're going to find out. I bet. But
I don't love Indigo. God damn it.
I'm not going to tell you all of what I've done.
We're not a very judgmental crew. Like, whatever's going on is
no,
cool.
I mean,
we just
certainly no.
we just want to
There's
know.
nothing.
You don't have to, Teresa. You do not have to tell us
Is it?
anything.
I'm gonna look at Quill or Quill kill. You have a. Never mind.
We're all extremely chill.
Okay,
here.
Kel.
Each and every one of us is very relaxed and chill.
Well, yeah, I don't know why we wouldn't take you with us. I mean, if you wanted to go.
No, I think you should stick around.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Wonderful. All right then. Okay. So the other thing, I remember some things, and I know who the Five of Hells is, or at least who he was. So a long time ago, I came here and I met some other adventurers, kind of like you, and one of them was a tiefling named Revelry. I don't know a whole lot about his sort of like what his sort of deal was, but he was a mortal named Revelry, and then I left, and as far as I know, he was fine, and then. And he looked very different. He had purples. The vision I had was of him. He was the purple-skinned tiefling, and now I guess he looks like this. He's changed into this red-skinned tiefling.
You knew the Five of Hells,
Yes, well, before he was the Five of Hells, anyway.
and you were friends with them.
Yes, I mean I knew him for a time. We became a bit close.
I told you guys he seemed cool.
He seemed.
Everybody I think is cool. You
I
guys all
remember him
hate.
being very different from how he is now.
What, you guys met somebody from the Hells?
Yeah, a guy called himself the Five of Hells.
Well, he wasn't from the Hells at that point. He was
Yeah,
just
actually-
a tiefling. He was just a young man. He had a cool sword, I think. I, as a player, do not remember a lot of Revelry's stuff from that campaign.
He did. At some point, he had
if
a
there's
cool
any-
sword.
At one point,
I
he
don't
had
even
a cool
remember.
sword.
I don't think in game I actually learned that much about Revelry's history. I don't think I was there when like the whole like. We learned some stuff about his backstory that I don't think I was present for.
I don't think you were either.
So
I don't think so.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't actually know how much I know about Revelry in terms of his mortal life.
Yeah, but you had a I mean, you all grew close through your
Yes.
adventure there.
You rescued the egg together.
That's true. Yes, I mean, he seemed like quite a nice young man. I mean, I don't know that much about where he's from, or actually, I think I do, don't I? We went to his hometown, didn't we?
You did. Oh, maybe you were present in that.
I was present for. I knew that it was his hometown. I don't think I learned that like what the stuff was like his dad. I think had something. It was like in a cult. And I don't think I got the details of that. But I do remember knowing where his hometown was.
Yeah. I mean, also without him, you wouldn't have had Thunderwheel.
Sure.
So
Do I remember what his hometown it was? If I got all my memories back, I would assume that's something I
Yes.
recall.
Are you giving Jamie free keen mind?
I know, that's the thing. That's my
Yes,
problem.
and then, yeah.
Well, technically, I did.
I didn't
You
take
were
notes
able-
from months ago.
That's understandable.
From other campaigns.
When it's been so long, you
yes.
can't remember everything.
Yes.
Well, and also,
I
I
remember
also
what I
get
ate
that,
for
like,
breakfast.
getting all my
years
memories
ago.
back doesn't necessarily mean I have like instant recall of all my memories. So I get, if you want to make a check or something, I can
Yeah, go ahead and make a history check.
history check. Okay.
Make an old.
I have a lot to
check.
sort through, certainly. 3.
I mean, you. At the very least, you do remember that at the time, it was the Tenlins. This was before.
It might not even be the same town anymore. Ultimately.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, it. The only thing that you recall is that it was like a little bit northern and kind of central-ish, maybe slightly to the west. You don't remember the name though.
Yes, I know he visited his hometown. I don't remember the name of it. It was a long time ago. It's probably not even necessarily there anymore. I don't know if anyone there would even know him.
So is he good or bad?
Well, he was good. I'm not sure what happened.
What about any of the other people you were traveling with at the same time? Maybe one of them knows?
Well, some of them are dead. Some of them came to the Fey realm and they died. I found their bodies.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yes.
So happy we went to the Feywild.
Well, I mean, I am. I know it came.
No,
with a
I'm
cost,
sorry.
but
Yes.
No,
yeah,
it's
no.
I understand. I know. I realize I've gotten a much better deal out of this than you have.
No,
But anyway,
it's fine.
I guess first things first, we should probably go find the druids, the morning blade druids, and try to get your limbs back. That seems like the biggest priority right now. Anyone opposed to that?
No, of course not.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
do it.
Well then, we should go do that. I'm. Do we want to? I know we've been through a lot. Do we want to rest up before we go, or?
I mean, I think we're spending the night at least in Avalon, right?
Yes.
No use of traveling at night.
Right.
How long have we've only been gone like part of the day, right?
Yeah, I mean it's a little later in the
Effectively.
day.
Yeah, okay.
Have a chill evening.
Yeah, relaxing evening. Is there anything anybody wants to do specifically before they rest?
Yeah.
You gave me this mushroom. Can you tell me anything about it? From your shell?
Is it the blue one?
The blue one's the one you just got, right? It was before that.
Not that blue one.
Oh, is it blue?
I don't remember if I gave you just like one of the ones. Oh, it's one of the ones off my back, right?
Yeah.
That's just from my hometown.
Is it
I just carry them around with me. They're like my friends.
do anything?
It tastes good, my opinion. But other than that, no, I haven't.
To take a tentative little bite of it, like, is that how you?
Yeah,
What does it taste?
loosen up.
I'm gonna put it in a jar.
Sure. You do so.
Yeah, I've been as I've been walking around, I've been trying to kind of spread these guys around, so that they can travel with me and make new homes as we go along. And I've been collecting samples. I have this idea that someday I'll have like my own little spot and I can, help all these guys kind of grow up and proliferate. And so yeah, I've been collecting all kinds of stuff, and I'll just kind of show like some of the various reagents I've been collecting over the travels. And I've been dabbling a little bit. I did make one potion out of them. It basically just let me like blow some wind. It wasn't that impressive really, but some,
That's impressive.
But yeah. But anyway, that was just That was just kind of to welcome you more than it was, you know, necessarily useful.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, I'm gonna go to bed now.
Okay, see you.
Do we have rooms?
Yeah, rooms can be provided for you
Get a
at
room.
the Grappled Thigh. Is there anything else anybody wants to do before they hit the
I
hay?
just want to look through my book and see if anything strikes of what he just showed me. Any of the herbs or any of that. If it's
Make an investigation check.
seems useful to me in some manner. That is a... Oh, that's not 15?
15. Yeah, you flip through your book. And you search through all the previous notes and everything, and you do your best to try to ascertain if any of this is useful. And eventually, you reach the blank pages. You just sort of sit there for a moment. Take a deep breath and exhale. And you don't necessarily find anything within the book that makes a reference to any reagent that he showed you or anything like that, but you sort of settle here on the blank pages for a moment. And you begin to see scrolling start to appear. And for the first time in a while, you read, "I hope you are well. I am still with you. The veil cannot touch you."
You kept... Wow, okay, I'm gonna... Can I, write back in the book?
Mm-hmm.
Where do I go next?
A moment passes. You read, "There are those that can help. Find them, learn from them, and do not be afraid along the way."
Just say out loud to the book. I'll try. Close it and go to bed.
Gotcha. Would anyone else like to do anything before they hit the hay?
I'd like. Oh, do you want?
Go for it.
I'll take a moment in like my room or whatever. I want to kind of meditate and attempt to make contact with Octavian the way that I used to
Sure.
back in the day.
Make a religion check. 4. You sit there and you try your best to tap back in to that connection that you had with your god many years ago. And you sit there for some time. And you grit your teeth and clench your jaw, and for the first time in a long time, you do something that is akin to praying. Until your sweat begins to bead at your forehead. And it's just not there. You don't know if it's you don't know if it's the realm, you don't know if it's Octavian. You get the sense, this slight bit of dread, that you've got to do this on your own.
But once again, there's a solace knowing that you have companions once more.
Cool. Quick question. This is more of a curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Am I aware, and we don't have to, if we haven't decided this yet, we can figure out later. Do I know where my being a conduit kid comes from? Is it something I've just always had?
No, you don't know. This is not something that has always happened to you.
When did it happen to me?
It started happening to you when you after you were first
When the first campaign started?
yes.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, and the last thing I wanted to do was I have the two books, the Fate History book and the Religion book. I can't imagine there's anything there about Octavian that I don't already know.
That is correct.
But I would at least review those sections.
Sure.
There's like, that happened.
Yeah. There's a handful of things where you're just like, they got that wrong. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of misunderstandings.
Sure.
But yeah,
So I do that.
lovely. Syracuse?
Yeah. How's the crowd at the tavern? I don't know if.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's a decent crowd here. I mean, a lot of people who have been rebuilding and whatnot are they take their afternoons off at the grappled thigh for sure. And it's not like rowdy by any means, but like it's definitely, I mean, it's busier than you've ever seen it for sure. I mean, which would make sense considering how the town was before.
Right.
But yeah, it's nice. It's like it's actually like there's a lot of foot travel here, so it's cool.
Cool. Is there anyone who's kind of like looks like they're kind of sitting on their own?
Make a perception check.
And try to forget your hand for the night.
8. You look around. Not really anyone sitting alone, but there's like someone just like sitting together with like there's like two dudes that are just like sitting off like in the corner, just sort of chilling, in the midst of a conversation. They have their food on their plates are just like bones at this point of just like what you assume to be like some chicken legs or something like that.
Sure.
They both have some ale in their hand, just sort of just relaxed, reclined a little bit, talking to each other.
Cool. I'm gonna get my own thing of ale. And I'm gonna sit down rather aggressively.
Sure.
Absolutely.
The two of them just sort of hello? Can we help you?
Well, yeah, I just saw you from across the bar, and I absolutely hate your vibes. You look like a bitch.
Christ.
And you look rather cunty.
I'm not there to stop you this time.
And they just sort of like look at each other and they're just like, who the fuck are you?
Syracuse Ceyloni, pleasure to meet you. That's a lie, it's really not.
Well, fuck off then.
Make me.
What the fuck is going on? They just sort of like, they look at each other. Make a intimidation check.
You bet.
You can get banned from every bar in Petrichor.
That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. They just sort of like, fuck this. And they just sort of stand up and they just like, you can tell that like as they're standing up, they're like shaking. And like they just sort of like leave their shit and just like begin to fuck off.
As they're leaving, I throw my thing of ale on the ground. Are you fucking kidding me? That easy?
And just like one of them that wasn't really talking much just sort of turns around and just goes, "But we don't want any fucking problems, man. Just."
Well, you fucking got one, mate.
And he just like sort of looks at you and just like looks at the other guy, and some of the other people like around are like starting to notice, and like they just go like they're just like looking at each other like really confused, and they're like the one dude who said something before like just sort of put his hands up and he's just like, "Well, sorry, man. I don't understand what the problem is. We're just gonna go
I'm gonna
home."
walk up to him and just the most disrespectful bitch slap.
For sure. Make an attack roll.
Sure. That's a 5.
5. You just backhanded like really nonchalantly just go up to like slap him, and he just sort of like instinctively like cowers away. You do miss, but it doesn't like you weren't like winding up to like whatever. It was just a very, and he just sort of flinched, and the other guy just sort of grabs him and he just sort of looks at you and is like, "What the fuck?" And he pushes you. Well, he attempts to at least to shove you. Right now? That's a natural 3. He attempts to shove you, and he just sort of like he just like touches your chest, like kind of like does like a little like
He tries to shove you, but he's like too nervous and just sort of like hits your chest a little bit. And he just says, "Fuck off, man!"
Hey, you fuck off! And I'm going for a punch now.
Make an attack roll.
Yeah. 18.
18. You just fucking sock him. You don't need to roll damage, just 1 plus your strength modifier. So you fucking clock him, and and you see a little bit of blood just sort of like come out of his mouth. Fucking, and like a crowd of people like get up, and like 5 like rough and tumble like construction worker men rush up to you and just fucking grab you by the arms. They're all gonna make grapple checks against you.
Sure. Do I have to make individual like?
We're gonna say that they're gonna have yeah, fuck it, individual ones. We'll say 5 of them. They all have advantage.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so yep.
The first one's a 12.
The first one I rolled a natural 13. So that the one guy grapples you.
Yeah. I think at that point I'm done.
Ooh.
It's a 14 for the second one.
12 for the second one. So you're like really you're like kicking and screaming.
13.
Natural 19. So 2 dudes on you.
Another 13.
Natural 15. 3 dudes on you.
16.
And yeah, 3 dudes to like jump on you and like grapple you. The other 2 just sort of try to get a hold of you. You're just kicking and like fucking throwing elbows and stuff. And they essentially like a fucking little crowd of these townfolk just fucking pick you up and throw you out of the grappled thigh, just through the doors. You fucking face plant onto the ground, dirt in your face, all a little scraped up, no damage or anything like that, but just like definitely kicked out.
I've just been sitting at the bar the whole time, just like, that's a shame.
And you do hear one of them saying, "Fucking stay out."
Fine. I don't need you. I don't need fucking anyone. Suck it.
Hell yeah, brother. And they all just sort of like look at you and just sort of like, fucking jeez. They turn around and just the doors shut behind them. And you've been kicked out of the grappled thigh.
Certainly have, haven't I?
Certainly. Where would you like to go this night?
Wasn't there a like closed down tavern? Had a bunch of like.
At the time, there was, yes.
Yeah.
You head towards there. The building is still standing. It is definitely. I mean, there are still a handful of buildings in Aberlock that are like marked for deconstruction at this point, or to be rebuilt or whatever that they haven't gotten to, or etc. And this is still one of them. It's sort of near the, if I remember correctly, the sort of near the southern part of the town, southeastern part of the town. And it's abandoned. It's no one really travels over here. This part of the town still has to be sort of rebuilt and whatnot. But
as I recall, it was boarded up, correct?
It was. There is a little bit of damage to it from the revolution, but it's accessible now.
Oh, okay. Cool. I'm gonna go sleep.
For anyone who is nimble enough to access it, which you are.
Right. Yeah.
And you spend your night here in this abandoned tavern. Anybody else?
I have to retcon. Somebody had to have helped me up to my room.
I probably helped.
Just put it out
Sure.
there.
Yeah, that makes sense. That Indigo misses this, and so you guys go up
It
and
was
kill.
just bothering me.
Yes.
Kill.
Thank
You have
you.
anything?
Can I try to activate the alchemy tool?
You certainly can try.
Hey, it works. And I can use it. I can use it as the heat source as well, right?
You can.
Yeah, it does kind of the whole thing. Okay. I just like set it up in the kitchen or whatever. I'm assuming that I'm like a pseudo celebrity, and at this point,
nobody's
gonna fuck with me.
No one has any problem with you doing the shit.
Yeah, I do make a point to congratulate all of the construction workers on throwing Kaz out of the bar, and then I'm gonna try to make some powerful alchemical fire.
Absolutely, you certainly can try.
Is it just the one check? It says one check.
It is one check.
Okay, and I get
Which you
advantage because of the tool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I rolled the same number twice.
Whoa.
I can add my wisdom though to it, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. But not proficiency, I believe. Oh, may add. No, I'm not proficient with alchemist tools. Okay, so yeah, I rolled an 18 and the DC was 17.
There you go. No problem. You create powerful alchemical fire, my friend.
Hell yeah. It takes me 2 hours, so I'll just do that, and then I'll probably just. Do I have any money? I got enough. I'll buy a round for the construction workers.
All right, yeah, you do so, and they regale you with cheers and pats on the shell, and any further assistance you might be in want of this evening, they are more than willing to provide for you.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Awesome. Alrighty. I would like everyone besides Matt to please give us the table.
Ooh. Fancy.
Is
Get the fuck out of here, Michaela.
is this in is this an official item or is this homebrew?
Which?
Powerful alchemical fire.
That is homebrew. I still need to add it.
No worries.
I was gonna wait till add any of this to see which ones you were gonna make, so that I didn't have to go out of my way to make a bunch of ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
Kill.
Yes.
Eventually, after you finish up your time here at the Grappled Thigh this evening, between making the alchemical fire and reveling with some of the townsfolk here in the tavern, eventually you step out. Michaela, tell them to quiet down a minute. Oh, okay, hopefully it's not as fun. Stage whisper. Eventually, you remove yourself from the inside of the tavern, as you are more wont to sleep under the stars in the light of the moon. Eventually, in the middle of the night, you head towards the outskirts of town, wanting to at least be a little closer to the nature around here, especially after experiencing the overwhelming sensation of the wilds of the Fae. Eventually, you lean up against a tree in the Evergrays, sort of look up into the sky and see the constellations above you, the moon shining directly on you. It is a very bright night here in the province of the Blackweld. As you just sort of close your eyes and feel the moonlight upon you, you're not sure how much time passes. You're sort of in that space between waking and sleeping that you can't really tell if you are conscious or not. Bits of dreams pass you by, and then eventually you hear hello, my friend.
It's just in my head? Or do I open my eyes and see
you open
the
your eyes,
Blackweld around me?
And you see a little rat. Little black rat sitting in front of you.
I was wondering when I'd see you next.
I was searching for a few possibilities. No doubt you are off on some grand adventure.
It was about as grand as I've had. You're looking for the 5 hells?
Some other things have come up, but yes.
Oh, okay.
Have you succeeded in any further endeavors searching for information about him?
Well, I made it to about the most exotic locale I've been to since getting to the island. Or off the island, I guess. But yeah, I got myself a name. Another name. It seems like our friend goes by a great many names. The Five of Hales.
And what name is this?
Oh, now. If you taught me anything, is that you like to strike a deal. I'd be happy to part with it.
You are too clever for your own good.
Nah, we're friends. Come on.
What would you have of me? Turtle.
Well, you did say we have a standing agreement. You did say you'd, sweeten the pot as time went by. What do you think? You think I'm strong enough yet? Give a little flex.
Part of my excursions across this land was to discover if I had the means to create an object I once possessed. An object lost to my possession years ago. I think it would prove to aid you well in your excursions.
Did you get yourself a lead on how to get your item back?
Well, there are a few reagents I require. Should you provide me this name, I suppose my attention wouldn't be so divided. And I could attain more of the difficult to find portions of my masterpiece. The rest, of course, would be up to you.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm a simple turtle. I don't require much, but I do like to get to know, my friends. And I think I just know so little about you. I know you got big dreams and I want to support you. I'd be happy to give you the name. But why don't you, tell me a little bit more about, what your hopes and dreams are.
Make a persuasion check.
I was built for this. 11.
11. He thinks for a moment. There is a war brewing beneath the surface. Those that lie beyond the veil, they yearn to be freed once more. I understand that feeling all too well.
Yeah.
But now that I am free, I know it is my destiny to carve away the infection that would see this war renewed. This realm is fruitful. ripe for those who are powerful, cunning enough to reap it. There is much to be plucked from this earth. And if others, like the Five, had their way, if they were able to unleash their desires upon this land, folk such as you and I, we would be severely limited. And I know how much we hate to be limited.
I certainly do.
Then you understand my duty.
So you think the Five means to start a war by freeing some of these individuals you speak of?
I do not know his true motives. He is smart. But I am smarter still. There are many a reason to start a war. None so benevolent. He must not be allowed to spark this conflict. I will rage against him. And so shall you. And we will be free to do as we please. And as I grow stronger, so too shall you. For as you know, strength, power makes you free.
And that is the only ambition I have. Remain free to do what I would like to do. I got this little trinket here, and just point to the medal I got from the headmaster. Seems to hold some sway with the fine folks of Naledian, but I don't know how long that'll last. And I'm not a big fan of being stifled. How about this? I'm happy to give you the name, but I'm also curious. When we first met, you said that you had a vendetta, something or someone that you were, your motivations seem to go beyond just your freedom. Why don't you let me in on the secret?
Make a persuasion check.
12.
I will offer you twofold. I will give you a list. Find these reagents. Deliver them to me. And I will craft an instrument for you. Something that will be potent enough for greater power to keep your freedom sacred.
Okay. You know, I'm always in the market for some new discoveries anyway.
And I will give you one more thing. There is something that I know that you do not. Something that could prove to be rather useful to you.
I'm listening.
I will give you these things for the name.
Sure. Yeah. I was going to give you the name anyway, but I don't know much about him. From what I hear, he used to be a decent guy, but went by the name Revelry. One name. That's all I know.
A true name carries much power. You will do well to remember this. Seek out these reagents. I will need a bundle of rooting claws. It is an herb that grows only in Ferrisper, a continent to the east. I will also require an eye. An eye of a serpent. But not just any serpent. A greater worm. An elder dragon. Lastly, there has come into my attention that you've met someone recently. The girl. There is much to be learned about her. She will prove to be useful.
The girl. You mean the druid?
No.
The girl. Oh, the girl. Yeah. She's not very open.
She will hold much back,
Yeah.
but she knows quite a bit. There is a presence that surrounds her. a veil that I cannot pierce.
You think that's her own doing, or you think someone's...
I know not.
She seems capable, but somehow I doubt she's able to veil herself in such a way.
Then I leave it to you.
Now, these ingredients, this is no simple task.
It is not. There are things far more nebulous that I will provide myself. That I now have the time to seek out.
But these two fall upon your old buddy Kill.
If you are up to the task.
You know, part of living to the ripe old age of adulthood as a turtle is knowing when you're bested. Might take me a minute to rise to this particular task.
I have all the time in the world.
Okay.
Do we have a deal?
Sure.
Very good.
I like you, Gores. You get me.
Never forget it.
Stay real.
I will see you on the morrow.
And the rat scurries out into the Evergrace.
I lean back, shut my eyes again. Think about the little I know of Ferasper.
Ferrisper.
Yeah, Ferrisper. Little I know of Ferrisper. And how it's got to be better than this place.
Michaela, you can bring the rest of them back in. They're right there again. What'd you say? What'd you say? Come on in.
Thank you, sir.
All right, who died? Everyone's dead.
Oh no!
Wow.
Killed all of us while we were working.
Yep, killed all of you. Slit all your throats.
Time to start the steampunk adventure.
Had to be done.
It simply had to be done. So, each of you lay your heads to rest in your respective rooms, whereabout, you know, that could be anywhere, whether it be an abandoned tavern, a tavern filled with other folk, or under the shining light of the full moon. Each of you wake up on the next morning, refreshed. Some of you not entirely whole, unfortunately, but ready to go about your business on this next day. You all begin to gather back at the grappled thigh with the distinct acknowledgement that Sirikaz Thelani is not present here.
No one's seen Cass?
Oh, I saw him last night.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, back to his old ways.
What are his old ways?
Oh, starting trouble and getting beat up.
Oh dear.
He made his way out of the grapple thigh with the help of some stand-up citizens, and I don't know where he ended up, but
What?
you know how Kaz gets. You know, he
I get that part,
gets some
but-
pent-up energy and has to get his ass kicked. You know.
Sure. You said some strangers left with him?
Oh no, they didn't leave with him. They
I
kindly.
was casually like, yeah, he was kidnapped.
No,
whatever.
they kindly escorted him out of the
Gotcha.
grapple thigh. Yeah, I think he just needed to blow off some steam.
Okay.
You know.
Sure. I guess
And,
you should look for him then.
Yeah, and you know those 5 guys that threw him out got to blow off some steam too. So it was kind of like providing a service.
Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
yes. I suppose if it was all consensual, then yeah, that's fine.
Well, I wouldn't
Oh.
necessarily say that, but
Well, all right then.
I did make some explosives last night, by the way.
Good.
So
What? Okay.
all around a good night for me.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
Do you know where
He'll probably turn up.
he might be?
I guess we should go. We should probably go. Just do a little.
I do not. Do you know where he might be?
No. Why would I know?
I don't know.
I was asleep.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you know.
I think I need to find like a conveniently shaped branch or something, so I don't have to rely on you to help me walk.
Yes, I'm sure we can have something like a crutch or something like that. I'm sure we can find something to help you out. Yes. Why don't well.
Yeah, we can make it work.
Yeah.
We can make it work. Here, grab on. I just kind of like offer my like arm.
Can I insight as to what's going on with Kill and Teresa?
Good fucking luck, bro.
I don't know. So.
5.
Big shrug.
Kind of weird.
Kill, do you have a crush on Teresa?
Could be.
Kill's little turtle tail starts wagging.
Right. Okay. Well. Okay.
Right.
Do you want? How about? Well, here's what I'm thinking. Maybe one of us could take Teresa to make something. Maybe, what do you think? Maybe like a wood. I don't know what sort of crafting places are here. Maybe something that someone could make something to help you get around.
I'm sure we can find a sturdy limb.
Wouldn't a Autolycus could maybe help with that, with like crafting like a blacksmith sort of crutch, maybe? Are they not those made of metal, are they?
Well, I mean, could certainly work.
Just an idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
That or some sort of. If I
You know,
could attach something.
I don't know if you remember, but I've done some forging myself now. So I'm sure I could probably make you something, either wood or metal. Do you have a preference?
I guess wood. It's lighter.
That's very true. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we can find you maybe some.
Are we aware of a wood crafter in town? Right, wood crafter's not the right term. What's the term?
A wood carver?
Wood carver. That's what I'm thinking.
Woodmancer.
Fletcher?
Woodmancer.
woodman, sir.
Carpenter? Carpenter. Yeah, I mean, you would assume. I mean, like, there are very likely a few of them here, especially since, you know, a handful of different craftsmen were sent over here by the crown in order to aid in reconstruction. So I'm sure you could be able to find one.
Yes.
Well, I
Game
could.
drinks. I drink all my drink. Oh, nice.
I could either just offer you my arm, or I'd be happy to carry you if you'd prefer.
Is it DM chugs?
Until we get a crutch.
Yes. How about Kill? How about you help Teresa to the wood carver and help that go and get set up, and I'll go out and look for cats.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That sound good?
Yeah. You okay with
Teresa,
that?
you good?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Yes. Well, let's meet back here. After we're done doing that, and then we'll figure out what to do next.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
Sounds good.
Kaz, what are you up to?
Yeehaw.
I'm going to Autolycus's.
Nice.
I'm trying to get a hook.
I love it. All right, for the sake of brevity, Indigo, just give me just an investigation check.
15.
15. Yeah, for the sake of brevity, you all, you two, we'll get to if you want to do some role playing in a second. But for the sake of brevity, you find out that a handful of different like craftsmen and whatnot are all sort of. They all generally gather together in the mornings of each day to sort of go to meet with Autolycus specifically, to delegate, what needs to be done for the day and sort of check in before they all disperse into whatever. So it's actually all in the sort of same spot that you get to go to, which also Indigo, coincidentally, you see Kaz sort of jauntily on his way to Autolycus's as you begin to switch around.
Going to get prosthetic.
But Kill and Dicey, is there anything that you wanted to bring up or whatever as you are figuring out this information?
Am I carrying you?
No.
You're just kind of limping along?
Yeah. Just grab your arm.
Okay. You okay? That's probably taking some getting used to.
I hope I don't have to get used to it.
Oh, so do I. We'll find our way. And the druid there is supposed to be very powerful. I've been looking forward to meeting him anyway. I'm sure he can help you out.
Yeah, I honestly don't really care that much. I just have things to do, and it's hard to do without a foot.
Yeah. What kind of stuff you got to do?
Well, I'm I'm looking for some stuff. I mean, I'm not. It's not like I'm unwilling to talk about it. I just maybe. I'll.
Hey, it's okay. I don't mean to. Here. I don't operate the same as everybody around here. I know people might think this distinction is a little bit weird, but I don't. I think I said I don't particularly like when people lie to me, and for better or for worse, I'm quite perceptive. And so, in the future, if I ask you a question you don't want to answer, just say, "Keel, I'd rather not answer that," and I'll be like, "Okay, I accept that."
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. With that in mind, anything particular you're looking for, I might be able to help you. I got some tricks up my sleeve for finding stuff.
You actually might be able to help me quite a bit.
Oh, okay.
I'm hoping.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm open to that.
I'll show you something a little bit later.
A little bit later it is.
Eventually, you meet up at this sort of pseudo town hall meeting of these craftsmen and whatnot as they begin to sort of finalize what their daily tasks are in the process of rebuilding Aberlock to a newfound glory. Eventually, you all begin to meet up here at Tullicus's blacksmith shop. Ooh, ding-a-ding-a-ding! And after they sort of confer this meeting, you converse with Autolycus, and it is sort of agreed upon that he will do his best to try to craft. I
have no service. I don't know how that.
Oh, nice! Try to craft something that could aid the two of you. You know, at least in a crude way. He says it would be no problem to craft you a hook, should that be your desire.
I mean, can we make something better? Like,
well, he says,
like.
well, I could. It just would take me more time. So I could craft out a hook in a few hours. Give me some time. I have a few things to do today, but probably without a doubt, by the end of the day, I could make you a hook. I mean, if you wanted something a bit more intricate, it would take me some time to craft. I wouldn't be able to connect the dots in a sense of, you know, utility.
How about a hook shot?
You're here.
You're all there. You're all there.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, but I didn't use my voice, so I meant
that was just out of character.
Yeah.
That was just me saying that.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, Kill hasn't played Zelda, so.
Word.
Make him a gun arm like
I want a gun. Yeah, like Doc from Berserk.
Harpoon arm.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Well, I mean, it didn't even occur to me that there'd be something else besides a hook to get.
Well, I could make you a mace.
Look, you say mace, are we talking like ball and chain?
Yeah. Or it could just be like just an iron ball.
The spikes coming out of it.
Oh yeah, spikes. That'd be cool. Badass.
I might stick with something a little more.
I could just craft an iron hand if you'd like.
But I still want a weapon, I think. If I could get like a... I mean, I've got a couple nice blades. Is there a way you could...
I could take a look at them, sure.
Let me see what I've got. If I could just get him... Because I have 2 of these longsword +1s. Can I just have
sword
him...
arm?
Crafted,
can I get a
do
sword
your...
arm?
I could certainly try.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, if you can just use...
We got freaking
And he
Edward
just sort of-
Scissorhands over here.
He also looks at you, Tuisa, and says, I don't believe we've met. Are you friends of the Bad Souls?
Let's say yes.
Yes.
Pardon my noticing, but are you in a similar predicament? Would you like me to try to figure something out for you?
Yeah, I don't know if there's like some sort of like harness or just a, I don't know, a crutch or something.
Certainly, that could be arranged. Gregor, would you be able to whittle out a crutch? And a gentleman that is sort of in a leather apron just sort of looks at you and nods and says, "Sure. Is there anything else that I could do besides just a clutch?"
No, never mind. No. Yeah, that's it. That's.
Well, are you sure that don't be shy if there's something you want? I mean, everyone's here is very friendly.
Please, it would be
no.
my pleasure to
Well,
aid a friend of the bear.
No,
fruit.
however, I just whatever is easiest to walk. I'm just a little scared.
Scared of what?
Not being able to walk.
Oh, sure. Right. Well,
Very insensitive of you.
I will do my
I
best.
didn't mean. Oh.
I will do my best to craft you something appropriate and of much utility to you. I swear this on the 5.
I'd be happy to help
Okay.
however I can with I mean, my woodworking is,
Very intense.
I'd be a beginner, but with the forging at least I
I would ask some help of you.
Sure.
However, we will see to this. I do want to let you know there was a gentleman that I spoke with last night. Stayed at the I believe he was staying at the grappled thigh. He didn't. He was searching for you. Said some business from the capital. I didn't really get a name. I saw. I mean, they presented, official signet, but
You were there all night, weren't you?
I was in my room. Did they leave a message, perhaps, or?
just that they were seeking out the bad souls. I didn't know whether or not if you had spoken. I just figured I had told him while I was turning in for the night, but last I heard, they had an excursion that they were out on. But since you're obviously here now,
Oh yeah. Did he leave a name?
no,
Well.
no, just urgent business from the capital.
Okay.
So I don't know if so.
What did he look like?
Rather common-looking fellow. I didn't recognize him. Human.
I just thought maybe one of you guys might know who it was.
I don't know.
Kind of a severe-looking face, I guess.
Severe.
More or less. I mean, I didn't recognize him, so I don't know.
Well, what's the protocol in this sort of thing? Do we just wait? Will they come back later, or?
Well, we can go back to the grapple time
I'm
if
sure
you're
if
staying
it's-
there. We could
I'm sure.
Oh,
if
he's
it's
staying
been-
there.
That's what he told me, I guess.
Okay.
so.
Yes, we should.
just ask
should,
if anybody was looking for us.
Yes.
Whatever. Any out of towners from the capital.
Sure.
Sure. Yes. Sounds good.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to stay here and help out if y'all want to check up on our friend.
Sure. Yes. Teresa, would like to? I assume you want
Do you
to.
need something?
You can't go back there.
Says who?
Oh.
Okay.
Yes. Because I do recall hearing that there was a bit of an incident at the bar.
Well, they threw me out. No one said I couldn't come back.
They kicked you out.
Do you remember how this happened?
What did you do?
Oh, I picked a fight.
I will speak to.
Listen,
I will
no one-
speak
no
to
one-
Harry. I'm sure
No
it
one
wouldn't be a
said
problem.
anything about not coming back. It was just, got a little rowdy one night, got thrown out. I'm sure if I come back and say I'm not going to start a fight, it'll be fine.
Sorry, I just assumed since you didn't sleep there.
Hey, can you do me a favor?
What's up?
Next time you just want to blow off some steam, come to your old buddy Kill. I'd be happy to blow off some steam with you.
Absolutely not.
Oh, come on, why not?
Kill, first of all,
Yeah.
when I fight in bars, I go fisticuffs only.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Listen, I'm not going to punch you in your fucking shell. Alright, that's not fair.
Well, I can't take my shell off now.
No, I don't expect you. Please don't. If you can.
It would not be pretty, I imagine.
I imagine it would be pretty gross.
Just
Yeah,
looks like a little
probably.
slug.
Yeah. Now that's offensive.
Yeah, God.
I'm just saying, if you need to blow off some steam, you might as well come at me.
Kill.
Yeah.
One-on-one.
Oh yeah.
I know I can't take you.
Well, I know that. But you couldn't take those guys on either.
Well, listen, I got dog pot, first of all.
Yeah. Next time it's gonna be me dogpiling you, you know what I mean?
I don't like the sound of that.
Oh, I'm just gonna be looking for that sparkle in your eye next time. Get the jump on you.
Let me know if this happens. I kind of want to see this happen.
Let me know so I can not be there.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So,
What?
I'm just saying we did a lot. to get this kind of like hero's goodwill going on. Like, you don't need to.
Yes, I see where Krilla's coming
Listen,
from.
I didn't bring out a knife. It was just a punch.
I know,
Yes,
I
you do
know,
remember what
but
happened last time that happened, right?
we got a very stern warning.
She was already not happy with us. That was.
Yeah,
You guys went upstairs and stayed in rooms we didn't fucking pay for. That was on you.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't my idea.
There were some other factors there. I could
Yeah.
see that maybe
What?
being a.
That is why I asked Cassandra to leave. I'm kidding. I didn't do that.
Well,
I don't remember that happening.
well, in any case, I shall go back to the grappled thigh to get the message. And anyone want to come with me, or who wants? What's happening? We good?
I'm gonna stay here and get hot and sweaty.
So I'm going to stay here. Who would like to go back to the bar and get the message?
I can go back to the grappled thigh. It's fine.
Can you help me?
To the grappled thigh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't have your crutch yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've got you.
So little.
Are you, all right. That's if.
Don't be ableist. They'll be fine.
No. Oh, okay.
Social justice portal.
That's my new subclass.
Yep. SJT.
Yep. Anyway, I got my hammer ready to go.
That's right, baby.
Start making a
I'll
hook.
just, Halcus, is there anything I can do to help with this?
I mean, you could assist in whatever way you like. If you want to grab some tools or whatever.
You might have a flair for the woodworking.
I'm sure
Yes,
Kill could. You know what? I've heard from scrollings and whatnot and different methods of tutoring that once your apprentice knows a certain amount, the best way for them to continue on learning is to teach as well.
Oh,
and
maybe.
reinforces
there
more
you go.
lessons. So
Yeah, maybe you
maybe Kill, you can lead a lesson or two with Indigo.
I'd be happy to.
Wonderful.
Yes.
I'd be happy to.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Teach me how to use tools.
Yeah, bury the old hammer. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Get
This
red
is
hot and
awesome. This is nice.
bury it. Nails it.
I'm so glad
Metal.
left already.
The two of you begin to head back to the grappled thigh.
Slowly.
As you approach the swinging doors of the grapple thigh this morning, you can smell that breakfast is or has been made here and is being served around. There's not too many people here. You walk in. Sirikaz, make a perception check for me.
Yeah, sure. 12.
12. You just sort of take a quick glance around. You do not notice any familiar-looking folk from the previous night.
Sure.
No one seems to. I mean, a few people just sort of like acknowledge you and just sort of recognize you as, the sort of revolutionist savior before. So a couple people just sort of nod at you. Mm-hmm. Certainly, probably didn't see you last night. And there doesn't seem to be anybody in the morning shift that was working the night prior. So, for now, at the very least, you are seemingly in the clear from anybody noticing you from your excursions last night. You head back up, or you head up to the bar, and you flag down one of the bar hands working behind that are just sort of in the process of setting things up for the day. And it is a younger man. You kind of recognize him, Sirikaz. I mean, you've had a couple interactions with him over,
Full Christian name.
Yeah, man. I'm the DM. And you're in trouble. So no, yeah. No, you recognize him just from the a couple months that you've been here.
Yeah.
You can't totally recall his name. You want to say it's something like Turk or something like that. You can't remember.
Hi, what's going on, Turk?
And he just sort of turns and goes, "Oh, Tyler." But
Fucking Tyler.
and he says,
He's a senior and he's the best.
and he says, "Good to see you again, Kaz. Would you like something for breakfast or?"
I would, but we'll put a pin in that for a second. Apparently there was someone looking for the bad souls last night. Do you know anything about that?
Looking for the bad souls.
Severe-looking person.
Severe.
Well, I wasn't on the clock last night. But I suppose I could ask around. I do know. Let me check the books. See who's staying. And he pulls out a ledger and he sort of flicks through. And he does notice. He just sort of stops for a second and says, "Oh, this is odd. So I have a few names here, but merchant, migrant, pilgrimage, and there's a space that's filled. It's just sort of dashed over, and then it says paid. There's no name. And he just sort of like looks around real quick, leans in. He says, "If I had to guess, since the other rooms are filled with names that I recognize or at least can read, the one crossed off that happens to be in the same column as, you know, the fourth room on the right upstairs. Maybe this was some sort of misunderstanding or something like that. Who knows? Maybe anything could be in that room. I don't know."
Maybe it could be full of vines.
So you're saying we have nothing?
So if I don't know what's in there, how could I tell you if anyone was in there before or anything? So technically, no matter what happens, I'm completely removed from the situation, don't you think?
I don't understand what he's trying to say.
I honestly thought that you were going to make us pay for the fact that the room got full of vines at one point, but I now see what you're doing.
I don't give a shit about that.
Nice. Tyler,
It's actually our biggest seller.
I've said it before, you're the best.
Those vines were cleared out, by the way.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
All right, anyway,
Also, I just work here. I could give two fucks. All I'm saying is that you didn't hear this from me.
This guy's
let me
quiet
fucking
quitting.
here. There's a goal for you. You enjoy that.
Shit! And he just, this is more money than he'll ever make in like a couple months. So he's just like, what the fuck? But yeah.
I like Tyler. He's the best.
Fourth room on the right.
He is the best.
I'm gonna go up to the fourth room. I'm gonna help Theresa
Don't leave me
to the
behind.
fourth door on the right. I almost said Hannah. That's not your character name.
Hannah does need help.
Hannah,
So that's very nice.
Hannah does not exist in Petra.
You don't know.
He doesn't exist.
We're-
You open the door, you see a green-haired young woman with peachy ears. What the fuck? Anyways, so yeah, you head upstairs. You walk over to the fourth room on the right. You knock on the door. A moment passes. You hear a little eye sort of appears within the crack.
Hello.
The door opens up fully.
Oh.
You see a shorter gentleman, about 3 feet tall, severe looking face, bald head, like Mr. Clean Bald, slightly pointed ears, clearly a halfling. A sort of gold nostril piercing, a ring. Missing one eyebrow on the left, and like a little bit of like a scar on the right eyebrow. Just looks up at you. Sirikaz Theloni.
Yeah, I heard you might have been looking for the bad souls.
I am. This is
This is Theresa. She's an intern.
make a persuasion check with advantage.
An intern.
She is with advantage.
Okay.
It's official. It's canon.
All right.
She's an intern.
unpaid, though.
Persuasion. You said?
Persuasion with advantage.
Okay.
This is our trainee. She'll be shadowing me.
That is very cocked.
Yeah, it's
That's
Reroll.
very cocked.
so that's a 22.
22. She sort of nods. Wonderful.
She's not gotten paid yet.
Well, the rest of your crew, are they?
They're over at Autolycus's right now. Making some prosthetics.
Right. Well, I have some urgent news that must stay between us. I am a member of Foundation.
Foundation.
Yes, we now serve under the Captain of Arms.
It is my understanding that you all were present at the most recent Lord's Gathering, yes?
Yeah, she
No,
wasn't.
not me.
But
I wasn't
The
there.
rest of us were, yeah.
Right. There has been an incident. None outside of the Foundation or the immediate members of the court know this. To put it bluntly, the Queen is dead.
And that's where we'll end our session tonight.
What?
Interesting.
Lore drops coming soon to an episode near you. I hope you guys all had a really good time. We got a lot of information in this episode. We're setting up for the kickoff of the third arc here at A Little Dicey D&D and the Great Naledian Crown. I'm very, very excited for next week, episode 34. Please stick around. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to...
You'll regret it for the rest of your life.
You'll never live this down
if
you're not here live finding this out next week. Very excited to step into the next leg of our very large journey. Congratulations to Indigo for getting his memory back and sort of rediscovering a new a goal that he'll be able to hopefully give his son a little bit of a better life. That's a wonderful, noble goal there.
So many Easter eggs in tonight's episode.
So many
from
Easter
campaign
eggs
one.
from campaign one.
Might be an
Yes.
interesting.
Was not online.
No.
No,
But
but
some things need to just be for
Yeah,
us, you know.
yeah,
It's nice. It's nice. You could find some of them on YouTube, I believe, if you want to look into the depths of our YouTube
That's
channel.
true.
Yikes. But yeah, hopefully
yikes.
stick around. So this Saturday, 1010%, hold me to it. If it doesn't happen, then I will never show my face here again. We will be having I know, terrible. We will be having the new episode of the podcast this Saturday at noon. I've moved things around to the point where I am all set. There will be no problems. I will have no stresses on my schedule and all these things. It's all good. Stick around for information on a new sort of substitute for reroll. I don't necessarily know if that's going to happen this Tuesday. We might just have like a open slot that open slot is in. We won't have anything this upcoming Tuesday. But we will be uploading this live stream onto our YouTube channel relatively soon. Look out on the Discord for that. It'll be at noon Eastern Standard Time on a specific day. Very likely it will go up. But my plan is to have them go up on Sundays at noon Eastern Standard Time. We'll get that. Hopefully we'll be able to get that done. We'll send out more information on the Discord when we have more concrete things for that. And we have a lot of things in the pipeline, so I'm not going to inundate you with things at the end of the show. But I hope to see you guys this Saturday at noon Eastern Standard Time on the channel for finally a return to the podcast. I'm very excited about that. And then we will definitely see you next Wednesday for episode 34 of the Great Naledian Crown. So thank you guys very much. We'll see you then. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Hi.
Woo! Fuck yeah, guys.